everyone. Welcome to the Arena League on YouTube from Springfield, Missouri. Wilson Logistics Arena, affectionately known as the Tackle Box. We have a matchup here tonight between the Memphis Hound Dogs at 1-1 and the Ozarks Lunkers, also 1-1 on the season. Good evening, I'm Tom Ladd, joined by Ryan Swanson. And Ryan, game two at home for the Ozarks Lunkers. Both teams are 1-0 at home so far, so a definite home field advantage so far in the season.
Yep, so far it's been great for the Ozark Lunkers here at home. Looking for a great matchup here, trying to get back on track after the loss last week at St. Joseph. Should be an exciting one.
And for Memphis, they ended up losing to Nebraska, but beating Iowa last week in their home opener. They won that game 50-18. They'll be paced by a new quarterback this week, Sky Forrest, who got some action last week in the game against the Woo. He is the starting quarterback in this game against the Ozarks Lunkers. And
there's his stat line from coming in last week, 7 for 12 of 90 yards, 4 touchdowns and an interception. Very interesting. We're going to see him for his first ever start here in the Arena League, especially coming in with this Ozark Lunkers defense, which has been on a struggle tear as of last week against the St. Joseph Goats. We might be able to see a breakout game for him in his first start here in the Arena League.
So they're 1-1 on the season, winning at home. The Lunkers also 1-1. They played on the road last week in St. Joe and took it on the chin. It was a rough one for them, giving up 77 points. But one bright spot for the Lunkers has been the play of their quarterback. That, of course, is Terry Jones, who has really played well in 2 weeks.
Yeah, definitely looking to help get a bounce back off that 4 interception marker from last week. But he's been playing great through these first 2 games of the season. He's got a great arm, able to be mobile and extend the play when he needs to. Definitely been the big bright spot for this offense that's been absolutely rolling for the Ozark Lunkers. First in total yardage and passing yards here in the Arena League. So definitely going to look back to him to get back on the winning track here at home.
Crazy, last year they were a run-heavy team with Brandon Mackey, the MVP in the league. This year, just the opposite. They like to throw the football, and I'll tell you what, Jones has been smiling all week with the addition of a player that has been a mainstay in Ozark the first 2 seasons of the Arena League.
Yeah, we're going to have Matt Rush coming back, his 3rd season. He's coming back in for the Ozark Lunkers, and for a team that loves to throw as much as the Lunkers, throw 96% of the time on their play calls. Going to be very excited to have another deep threat, another quick receiver to come play in, maybe a lot of motions out that we saw from last season. Very exciting for the Lunkers offense here coming into week 3.
The Hound Dogs and the Lunkers will have the opening throw-off coming up here from Wilson Logistics Arena on YouTube. And welcome back to Wilson Logistics Arena. The tackle box set for the start of this one. The opening throw off for the Hound Dogs. It will be Adrian Fox throwing it off. Back deep for the Lunkers is Miles Kit Denton, and he is bottled up and stacked up at about the 16-yard line. That's where the Lunkers will take over their first possession of the game. I believe the Hound Dogs won the toss and deferred, so they gave the Lunkers the ball first, and that means the Hound Dogs will get it to begin the second half. We see the starting quarterback for the Lunkers, Terry Jones, 6'4", 200 pounds, out of Morgan State. He's got a full array of talented receivers, both to his right and left. They start the football right at about the 17-yard line. Snap back, a good one. Jones has time, rolls to his left and throws it short. Pass intended there for his tight end. That is Austin Potter, and it's incomplete. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
And that one, just a missed throw on that one. Had the open play there. Good job of the offensive line. Gave him plenty of time to look in this type of league. Not often you'll see that much time to sit in the pocket and be able to look down the field. Got to be able to connect on those come later in the game.
Dennis Robinson wide right for the Lunkers. In the backfield is Emory Bryant Jr. To the left of the quarterback, Terry Jones. Motion man. Going horizontal that time, and a flag thrown, and I believe a clock issue. That was not a problem.
Delay game on the offense, number 8. That's a 5-yard penalty. It remains 2nd down.
That is Byron Pearson, the white hat. The rest of the officials in this one, Jason Jackson, Brian Whittick, and Luke Schoen, the line judge. So a penalty there on clock issue. Motion, they go vertical and horizontal. Pass by Jones is thrown way wide that time. Again intended for Bryant Jr. incomplete. That'll bring up a 3rd down.
Just then again, another miss one. First read wasn't there on the motion play right there. Didn't find anything open, so just had to get it out quickly and just missed his man. So 2 quick errant plays here for the Lunkers early, and already 3rd and long for them. Backs almost against the wall in their own end zone.
Couple touch passes that were overthrown by Jones. Motion man going left. Here's Jones. He's got a man wide open. That ball is caught by Kit Denton. He bangs into the wall and is stopped there. Now the wall is in play. You know, you can hit the wall, but you must make forward progress when you do. And of course, he hit it a couple times and was finally down, and that's enough for a 1st down for the Lunkers.
And just broken coverage right there, going away from his zone right there, number 8 for Memphis right there, just not good on the defensive end.
4 wide receivers for the Lunkers. Jones dropping straight back. He'll throw into the end zone. It is high and diving over the wall. One of the Lunkers, he lands into one of the suites here as he jumps up and lands on the concrete. I believe, is that Robinson that did that? He was looking for the pass that was overthrown by Jones in the end zone, and he lands over the top of the wall and on the concrete. And already they're going to have to bring some help out to assist the player for the Lunkers, who is laying down and hasn't moved much here early in the game. A injury for the Lunkers. That is Dennis Robinson, a 6'5", 220-pound tight end from Northern Illinois, and they're going to have to bring the stretcher out. We're going to take a break here, just underway in this one. No score between the Lunkers and the Hound Dogs. This is the Arena League on YouTube. We are back at the tackle box. Robinson being tended to on the sideline. Lunkers with the ball. Here's a handoff. Trying to get outside to the right this time. And dropped on the play is Emory Bryant Jr. Gain of maybe a yard, half yard anyway on the play. Brings up third. And we'll call it 10 for the Lunkers here. Not a team that likes to run the ball much.
No, run second least in the entire league. Only 4% of their whole play calls end up being run plays, so very uncommon from the Lunkers there.
Vertical motion by the Lunkers. Here's a pass into the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown. Miles Kit Denton scores, and the Lunkers take the lead first, as they've done the last 2 weeks. They had a pick six to start the game against St. Joe last week. Here's Miles Kit Denton, the 5'11", 195-pound receiver, scoring. And the Lunkers going to go for two here after their first touchdown of the contest.
And after a couple missed touch passes on that one, good to see that one. Perfect spot on the ball on that one to Kit Denton. A beautiful ball on the back shoulder.
Going from the 10, two-point conversion here. Jones dropping back, not much rush here. He's got a man coming after him, rolls to his right. Still drops back, throws it high, and the ball is tipped, intended for Matt Rush deep in the end zone, but it was knocked away. 6-0 Lunkers here in the first quarter. Didn't look good the first couple passes, but Jones got it going after that and completes the touchdown, and the Lunkers get on the board first.
And all you really ever need in this league is one play on this short of a field, and that one step's all it takes. Great pass into the back shoulder in the end zone. Beautiful ball, and definitely a good way to end this drive. For Thierry Jones coming in off a good yardage game, maybe not so great on the completion percentage or the turnover game for Thierry Jones there, but a good way to start this one for the Lunkers.
Cavius Daniel with the throw off now for the Lunkers, and dropping back deep for Memphis will be DJ Briggs. Briggs lined up at his own 5. Daniel will throw it from his end zone right to us. There's the whistle. He throws it downfield, bounces inside the 10. Big hop, picked up by Briggs. Briggs finds a hole right side and then is tripped up from behind. Good defensive stop there by the Lunkers Hughes. DeJuan Hughes, who's from Crawfordville, Florida, attended Allen College with the stop there. Maybe a touchdown saving tackle too.
And especially when you do that type of throw off, that one little hop right there bounce. There's only really one level of defenders there, so if you have a hole, that can immediately go up the field onto the other end of the field for a touchdown on the return. So great job getting to the tackle there from Hughes.
Sky Forest with an option pitch to the right. This is Tony Bell with the carry, and he gets positive yardage off to the right. Little quick option pass there by the quarterback, Sky Forest. This guy is big. 6'5", 230-pound quarterback from Lane College. Bell in the backfield to his right. 3 wide receivers to the left. Here comes the quick pressure, quick pass, and a first down for the Hound Dogs, middle of the field.
And a good job getting that one off quickly, as number 3, Daniel Charles, who was Defensive Player of the Week for the Lunkers last week against St. Joe, coming in off a blitz there on the edge. Good job getting that ball out quickly, as he was left unblocked coming off the edge.
1st and 10 for the Hound Dogs. Motion going both ways. Here's a quick hitter right side. It is caught down the right sideline that time for the Hound Dogs. And that'll be another first down. They move the chains again.
And I like what Memphis is doing here. Lots of motion with the quarterback, as this Ozark Lunkers defensive line, one of the worst are performing in the league. Only 1 sack currently on the season. So a lot of movement from the quarterback, trying to buy as much time as they can with a unit struggling.
Here's Bell up the middle. He'll go nowhere. Maybe a gain of 1 up the middle that time for the Hound Dogs. Inside, outside, they're trying to mix it up against the Ozark defense.
And got to be careful with this Memphis Hound Dogs team. One of the best performing in the red zone currently this season. 5 for 8 or 5 for 6 last week and 5 for 7 on the year in the red zone.
Dropping back, pass in the end zone, tip, the diving deflection there by the Lunkers near the end zone. Looked like just for a moment a man was open for the Hound Dogs right at the end zone, and the Lunkers with a touchdown saving deflection there. That's Daniels, who kind of plays a little bit of everywhere on the field for the Lunkers defensively.
And it's so hard in this league to fit the ball through that tight window that's always changing on this smaller field right there.
Vertical motion here by the Hound Dogs. Here's a pass wide open, and he overthrows in the end zone. Had a man in the end zone wide open, and it's incomplete.
And on that one right there, throws it up there understandably so, but the man was lost in coverage right there, left practically unguarded. Safety was not getting over to help that. Didn't need to put that ball that high up. Could have just left that on a one to chase after into the wall, so maybe better touch on that next throw.
Once again, the Hound Dogs looking. Here's a throw into the end zone again, and it's overthrown. And that'll be Ozarks football. That ball was at about the 11-yard line on the opposite side of the field. Kind of tough to tell. The yards are kind of faded on the other side of the field, so we have to kind of guess a little bit to see where they're at. But they look like it's just on the 11-yard line, and the Lunkers will take over their second possession of the game.
And a great recovery from this defense. Again, with an offense that's been playing so good in tight to the red zone right there. Great job being able to force a couple of bad throws and able to get the ball back.
1st and 10 for the Lunkers at their own 11. Dropping back, long pass downfield. Ball is overthrown. Intended there once again for Bryant Jr. Incomplete, but he had at least 2 steps on the defender.
And this is going to be a really important game for that safety, number 3, Jelani Willis. With this Ozark Lunkers team, one of the most air raid teams in this league. Throw it second most in the league, but also have the most passing yards of any team in the league. Have to be on top of their game in the secondary unit for Memphis, as this team's going to air it out. Have to be able to either get pressure to the quarterback or just be able to close off the open areas quickly, because this team will air the ball out. 2nd and 10
from the Lunkers 11. Jones, plenty of time, now rolls to his right, looking downfield. He'll throw the other way, and it's deflected and incomplete. That pass was intended for Jylan Jones, a 6'3", 215-pound athlete. So it'll bring up 3rd and 10 now for the Lunkers.
And something we aren't seeing this much in general from the Arena League is quarterbacks rushing up the field. Not many quarterbacks trying to move back to the middle of the field, get in between the hash marks to run the ball. Not something we see that often, so had to make that throw over the middle that goes incomplete.
Derry Jones rolls to his left this time. He's got a man wide open. Looks the other way instead, throws it, and it's caught. Caught by Bryant Jr. 2 offensive players at midfield, and he threw it to one trailing on the play. Bryant Jr. with the catch, but it was also in the area of Miles Kit Denton.
And the yardage on both of those throws is probably the exact same, so took a risk with the play cross field to the sideline there. Ended up being around the same spot, but still 1st down here for the Lunkers right at midfield.
Yeah, at the 25, these are 50-yard fields in the Arena League. Here's a snap back to Terry Jones. Jones goes right, ball caught short. Nice cut, going back the other way, and finally down, and maybe a loss on the play that time for Kit Denton. Tried to do a little too much dancing that time, didn't he?
Yes, he did, but Ozarks Lunkers already picking their spots nice as the seam route pulls 2 guys up off the field, leaving space underneath. Something you're going to see a lot from this Lunkers team, especially with how much they air the ball out downfield. So great play design so far, just not the result that the Lunkers want to see.
2nd and 10 now for Ozark. High snap picked up by Jones. Jones throws middle of the field. It is caught by Matt Rush. Rush hit at the 11 and dropped right there. So welcome back, Matt Rush, who retired and sat out a couple of weeks and returns this week and makes his presence felt right away.
Got honored in this field at almost that exact same spot 2 weeks ago. Had a little video tribute for him, and now he's back making plays for the Lunkers in the home Reds again.
First and 10 for the Lunkers. Here's a snap back to Jones. Jones looking left, rolls to the left. He's going to throw the other way, and way off the target that time. Bryant Jr. was going to the side of the field that Jones was on and threw it behind him by at least 8 yards. Nobody around that ball.
No, not at all. In this league, you'll see it a lot more, but traditionally, you tell a quarterback, don't ever throw it back up across the middle of the field. Normally, for that reason right there, you miss it by even just a little bit. That's getting picked off and going back the other way. So lucky to not find the hands of the defender right there.
Vertical and horizontal motion. Jones rolling to his left. He throws into the end zone, and it's nearly picked off that time by the Hound Dogs. Jelani Willits, who steps in front of that pass at about the 5 and nearly picked it off.
And that's
Watch this.
Look how many guys are in the area.
Yes.
That's a tough window.
Wow.
Anyways, the fact he even gets it there is impressive. A hard one to hold on to, but even getting it there is an impressive feat on its own. And one thing I'm also noticing, Memphis in this quick yard area, pressing heavily, very heavy contact on the receivers, especially on those motions here early in this one.
Timeout called, as you hear from the white hat, Byron Pearson. Timeout called by the Lunkers on this 3rd and 10 at the Memphis 11-yard line. They want to talk about this play here. They got 2 plays. Basically, this is 2-down territory, so they've got some plays to work with here. Trotting off the field is Jalen Jones, so they'll replace him, and we'll see what they can do here offensively, with the Lunkers leading this one 6-0 on the touchdown by Kit Denton. And so far, Terry Jones a little inconsistent with some of his passes so far, rolling a lot to his left. He's not being pressured that much. I mean, very slight pressure compared to last week in St. Joe, where he was really hurried. Not so much so far in this game.
And St. Joe, just a whole different defensive unit, leading the league in sacks with 19 currently on the season. All that is information you can find on the Arena League website for full statistics on the year.
Jones takes a snap, drops straight back, throws to the right, incomplete again. Intended over there for a wide open Kit Denton, and it's overthrown once again. It'll bring up 4th and 10 for the Lunkers. Play being signaled in by the head coach, that is Cam Bruffett. Coaches are on the field, the head coach behind the offense.
And that one, I think, just a miscommunication on the route. It seemed to be a shorter out route needed to be taken. Little bump from the press from the secondary, pushed them further out. But that just looked like a miscommunication on where the route was supposed to be going on that out route.
2 motion men. Jones dropping back, rolls to his right, throws it the other way, and it's nearly picked off again. Coming up to make the play, Adrian Fox went through his fingertips, and he drops down and does 10 push-ups. He's upset with himself. Knew he missed one there because it was a pick 6 all the way.
Again, as I was saying earlier, this game already getting a little chippy as we got a helmet flying off here down by the 5-yard line. So a lot of physicality in these routes from this Memphis defense on these receivers for the Lunkers. So something to maybe look out for later.
Sky Forest and the offensive unit from the Hound Dogs back on the field. They have the football at their own 11-yard line. Motion man Bell going to his right. They go with the screen over there. It is caught at about the 9 and tripped up. Fall at about the 13-yard line. Got a couple numbers that I went and approved the numbers from the head coaches, and there's 2 that he didn't give me. That was one of them, unfortunately. We've had 3 different versions of the roster for Memphis. Here's a pass. Oh, almost intercepted. Holy smokes, what a play there by the Lunkers. Jumping up and almost picking that one off is Daniel Charles. Watch this. Almost brought it down. He juggled it with 2 hands, tried to tip it up to see if a teammate could get it, and it falls to the turf.
And last year's Lunkers Rookie of the Year, already making big plays this season. Great job just getting up to the ball on that one.
Forrest looking downfield. Got a man open on the right sideline, and it's caught over there. Enough for a first down. Defensive stop made by Daniel of the Lunkers, but plenty for a first down for the Hound Dogs. They'll move it into the Lunkers side of the field now. Mark the football at about the 18 of Ozark. Sky Forrest, the quarterback, gives it to Bell. Bell moving to his left, spins a couple of times, eludes one tackler, and gets it down to about the 11-yard line.
And Memphis, a team by Arena League standards, runs the ball pretty more often than any other team in the league, about 70-30 split, not the most, but near the top of the list. And that time, great play design to open the field.
Oh, quarterback tripped up on his own accord. He had a little bit of pressure with Craig Travis, but I think he just slipped on his own accord, fell down right at about the 20, so a loss of about 7 yards by Forrest. By the way, Tony Bell was a two-time All-American at University of Tennessee Martin as a linebacker. He's the running back here for the Hound Dogs, in motion right now to his right, turns upfield. He's open, he gets the catch at the 15 and dives to the 10. And that looks like it'll be enough for a Hound Dog first down. So Bell, a defensive All-American, two-time at UT Martin, but now a running back. Oh, they're going to say not quite first down. No, it's into the first quarter is the play there as Byron Pearson blows the whistle, which means we need to take a break. Lunkers on top of the Hound Dogs, 6-0. Take a break here. This is the Arena League on YouTube. You see the Lady Lures there performing during the timeout between quarters. Part of the fun here at the fairgrounds in Springfield, Missouri. 4th and about 4 for the Hound Dogs. Dropping back, rolling is Forrest. Forrest throws it short, and it is caught, but is it enough for a first down? They say it is. That is Michael Stackens, the huge tight end from Memphis, 6'3", 285 pounds, played for the University of Memphis, and it's 1st and goal now for the Hound Dogs. Forrest dropping back, no rush. Bullet pass in the end zone, incomplete.
And that's a great job right there from Daniel Charles. Catches a guy in full sprint, has to just quickly make a couple steps just to try and get some pressure on that throw right there, and a great job getting over there. Needs to be a better throw from the quarterback right there, Sky Force, but still a great job defensively to get over. Again, for a team that has been so good in the red zone through the first 2 weeks, already having some miscommunications early in this one.
Here's a pass, and it is caught. Got a feeling that that's going to be Donald Gray with the catch, wearing number 4, and a touchdown for the Hound Dogs. A jersey situation here, but the Hound Dogs tie it up, and we're going to call that Donald Gray, because he was the guy who had all the catches last week, including the first 2 home catches for the Hound Dogs last week. They had the bounty ball. Here's a low snap picked up by Forrest. He'll throw it to Gray again, and it's incomplete. Desperation toss there. Conversion no good, and we are tied at 6 here in the second quarter. Defense applied there by Daniel of the Lunkers. 6-6 our score. So Gray will go with him as number 4. They had him at number 2, but he has been their main target as he was last week against the Woo.
And then a quick little score update here around the league as we keep going here, waiting for the throw off here in this one. Eau Claire and Nebraska. Currently Eau Claire 7, Nebraska 12 with 5 minutes left to play out in Nebraska. Now over to Monroe. They currently lead Arkansas 15-6. And then at the end of the quarter over in Iowa, they trail the St. Joseph Goats 8-6. That's your quick score update. And for all information of scores, stats, and highlights, check out the Arena League website, where you can find links to all of our games and live action here for the Arena League.
Very good. Arena League on YouTube, of course. Donald Gray caught the first 2 touchdowns at home last week. So he catches one here as well. It was at the Memphis Sports and Events Center. Here's the throw off, high in the end zone, caught by Emery Jr. He's going to run it out. It's got some room on the left side. He's going to have to cut, and is tripped up into the wall at the 20-yard line, and that's where the Lunkers will take over on this possession in the second quarter.
And we do not have a number for the roster, but right there for Memphis, number 14 is the outside contain on that one. On these types of throw-offs, outside contain is a number 1 priority. That's the most common thing you see on these throw-offs, is a cut back straight to the outside end of wherever the strong side of the field is. Got to do a better job of containing that way, or else he breaks up to around midfield.
So Terry Jones and the Lunkers offensive unit come out in a tie game. Motion man, this is Matt Rush to the left. They look for him deep. Jones throws it, and it's intercepted. Overthrown that time, intercepted at the 20 by the Hound Dogs, and they will take over there. That's Ladarius Lee. Lee had 3 interceptions in the first 2 weeks. Count them, 4 now for Lee this season. And that was almost a gift.
Yes, it was, and that's going to be the 6th pick on the year for Terry Jones. Threw 4 last week. Definitely something that Lunkers fans and coaches don't want to see. He's trying to fix the turnover issue. Was great in the week home opener against Eau Claire, only throwing 1. But definitely something the Lunkers were hoping to clean up coming into this week, and not great to see here at the start of the second quarter.
Forrest brings his offensive unit out here. Motion man, left side, and going to run right up the middle through the hashes. You can do that if you stay within the middle of the field. That was actually, I think, a different running quarterback there. Did they switch it up on us? Is that still Forrest, 13? Number 18.
His jersey might also just be tucked into his number.
Yeah, I think it is Forrest. So he runs it forward for 4 yards. Second and, we'll call it 7 here, actually a 3-yard gain. He runs it again up the middle. You can do that. You can run it up the middle if you stay within the middle hashes. And then as soon as you get to the line of scrimmage, you can cut outside, as Forrest did there. And he is very close to a first down. Little quarterback keeper there up the middle. His helmet goes flying by Luton of the Lunkers.
And something good here for the Lunkers is this defensive unit who's not had much of an existing pass rush and do these first 2 weeks, finally getting after Sky Forest, who seems to be a not mobile quarterback by Arena League standards. It's good to see for this defensive unit.
Quick pass over the top and enough for a first down as he gets Stackins again. The 6'3", 285-pound tight end. Big boy to try and bring down.
And almost every play, Memphis has a guy coming off the line going in to catch a ball on a quick route that's normally 3 yards off the line of scrimmage. So have to make adjustments to make sure the linebackers cut up down there.
So we have a whistle here, stopping play.
Timeout. Ozarks Lunkers. That's the second half.
So the Lunkers take a timeout, according to the white hat Byron Pearson. Again, Jason Jackson, one of the officials in this one. Brian Whittick is a linesman, and the line judge is Gary McEllier. Haven't had to use him yet, but he's to our left just in case. They do a good job.
Got a great angle up here. Good job getting an official up here for replays. Up here, officiating crews have been outstanding so far here through these first couple of weeks here at the tackle box.
These two teams 1-1 on the season, Ryan, both winning at home, both losing on the road. And that's been kind of a trend for the teams so far in the Arena League. Now Nebraska's 2-0. St. Joe, they've got a revived defense. They're also 2-0 and scoring some points. 1st and 10 here for the Hound Dogs. Forrest motion man. Here's the run up the middle, and he gets buried after a gain of a couple. He's a 6'5", 230-pound quarterback, so trying to use his size a little bit there.
Definitely something I was expecting to see coming into this one, trying to make some space, run up the middle with his size, and also his very first start. Try and get him more comfortable sitting in the pocket, make sure he knows he can run if he needs to.
Dropping back, here's a quick pitch to the left. It is caught and banged into the wall. Oh, there's a flag, no doubt about that. A little extracurricular activity that time by Luton.
And I don't think there'll be a time you will not get a flag thrown for that one. Just a little bit too much on the end of the play.
We'll hear from the white hat.
After the play, personal foul. Defense number 6, half the distance to the goal. Results of the penalty will be a first down.
So now 4 plays from inside the 5 for this Memphis Hound Dogs team to try and take the lead. We're gonna have some motion coming in from out of the backfield as well.
1st and goal. Quarterback going to throw it into the end zone, tipped and incomplete. Hamilton, big 6'3", 265-pound tight end from Ohio State, had that ball, hit both of his fingertips, a high pass,
and then Donald Gray
knocked it out of play.
Falls out. Good to see he's okay. Already with 1 injury tonight, with a man jumping to get that ball falling out over the board. So good to see he's okay. Now 2nd down.
Football at the 4 of the Lunkers. Snap back. Looking into the end zone. Here's a bullet pass, and it's caught. Deflected and caught again by Donald Gray, his 2nd touchdown reception.
And the moment a ball gets thrown in this short field area, how many bodies moving around? Sometimes all you need is just one deflection to go your way to find a man standing right on the back of the end zone in the red turf. So good break here for the Hound Dogs as they take the lead here.
Yep, right place, right time that time for Donald Gray, his 2nd TD pass, and we're going to go for 2 here. The Hound Dogs, they lead it 12-6 in the 2nd quarter. Quarterback waiting, slaps his hands, looking, It's going to fire a bullet. It is incomplete. Good defense there by Luton. Stepping in front of the receiver, DJ Briggs. Incomplete. And it's 12-6. That was, by the way, a new quarterback, because I saw the starting quarterback, Forrest, sitting on the bench. So another number. And I talked to the coaches before the game. They checked my roster, said, yep, you're spot on. We're missing some numbers here. Maybe they changed jerseys before the game, but number 18 running quarterback for the Hound Dogs as opposed to number 13. I did see Forrest, and I see him on the bench over there. He's working on his equipment. Looks like something with his foot or leg. But anyway, 12-6. Hound Dogs on top of the Lunkers. It'll be a throw off here, and dropping back deep for Ozarks is Miles Kit Denton, the return man.
And also just some speculation, could possibly be two quarterback system, one drive on, one drive off for each of the two guys. Possibly we'll find out later when Hound Dogs get the ball back, but really interesting to see how the quarterback situation develops there on the sideline for Memphis.
Kit Denton at his own goal line. Throw off here by Adrian Fox. High, hits the roof. And that means the Lunkers will take over at midfield.
And I bring it up every week we play here in the tackle box.
Throw off violation. Throwing team, ball will be placed at the 25-yard line. First down, Lunkers.
That almost happens every week we play here in the tackle box. Very low hanging ceiling here at Wilson Logistics Arena. Happened in the home opener against Eau Claire. Happens this week for the Memphis Hound Dogs. Bit of a break. I mean, whatever you want to call a home field advantage, there it is for you right there.
Terry Jones brings the offensive unit out. Stacks the right side. Vertical motion. Oh, he's back into the game now. Dennis Robinson is in. They're going to go to him. He makes the catch, bounces off the wall, spins into the end zone. What are they going to say? They're going to say touchdown Lunkers, I believe. They're talking it over, but here he was almost carried off the field. He's back in, makes a catch, and then bounces off the wall, spins into the end zone, and they're waiting for a call here. They're talking about it. Was he out of play? Again, the wall is in play. You've got to make sure you have forward progress, and that's what they're talking about here. All of the officials. Here we go. We'll have the announcement by Byron Pearson.
Officials timeout. Last play is under review.
Under review. So we might also have a replay here to show all of the viewers here at home as we possibly will be able to take a look here at that one. What a first play back, and we're going to see it here. Hopefully, and here's the throw over the middle, catches it. Now the question is, if he hits the wall here, is there contact from Memphis? He's off the wall there. Stays up, and we'll see here as a knee is down and then reaches over. So the question is that knee considered down when it hits the ground here at the 1?
And I was wondering if they were going to call it dead there at about the 7.
But he looks to be off the wall
right
when the contact gets there. So talking it over here, possibly down at the 2.
Replay
review,
official.
Player was stopped at the 5-yard line. We got first down. Over.
So they're going to call him down at the 5. Yep. So possibly a different look and angle that showed he was down on the wall perhaps. But still a great first play back after being attended to with what looked like an apparent shoulder injury. But great first play back, takes some contact, and now down at the 5 for the Lunkers. Chance to even this one up.
First and goal. Terry Jones in the offensive unit. Motion man going to the right. That's Rush. They're going to go to him in the corner of the end zone. Way overthrown that time. Rush was open, but that ball, I don't know if Wimby could have got that one. Maybe Wimby. Maybe.
I'm going to don't have a greatest look from up here how high that ball is up, but even I'm going to be scratching my head on that one if he could get there. But luckily enough, some fan is able to get that ball, almost like a foul ball in baseball. See a bunch of kids running after. Always fun to see some engagement here with fans.
Second and goal for the Lunkers. Jones dropping back, rolls to his left, looking. Now he goes to his right, being rushed. He's got some time, rolls to his right, stops, spins away, and now he's going to go down, and they drop the ball. What happens here, Jones ran into a defender. That is Meante Kimbrough. Boy, it took half the quarter there just scrambling on that play, didn't it?
Yes, it did, and a great play from Memphis, as this team was the one above them in 7th place in sacks, only 3 on the season. But a great job getting there. Terry Jones trying to extend it as much as he could. Shocked that there wasn't a fumble call there.
Oh, they've got a...
Yeah, but I was going to say, he's going to throw it, because he was not down. I was shocked that he wasn't. Now, waiting on an announcement from the referee here.
Replay flag has been thrown.
Because my question is, if they're calling it dead with the helmet off, would be my next question, is if they see the helmet come off in that scrum, are they going to call that dead?
Here's a call.
Officials timeout. Coach's challenge for a fumble.
For a fumble, they said. So I thought it was too. I thought he was up. He ran into the defender.
And you're going to see it again. And yeah, I would agree with this one. I am shocked that it wasn't called originally. Because
there goes the ball.
There goes the helmet. But that's again what I'm thinking here is the officials are going to talk about, as you'll see the scramble out. And where does his helmet come off? Because if the helmet comes off, I'm sure they're going to blow it dead. Hits him here. The helmet looks loose as it's in his hand. I don't know.
I think the ball came out first. I mean, is it the ball come out, then the helmet? Does it matter? It was about the same time, but the ball came out of his hands, then the helmet came off. In my opinion, we'll have to see that
see it again.
But who picked it up then?
But even with so, then the scrum ensues afterwards. But the next question is, the whistle, I think, is blown before anyone gets there. So even if there's a fumble, I don't think anyone got on the ball before the whistle was blown originally. So if that's the case, does Memphis even have a chance to get the ball from the scrum because the whistle was blown, or are they just going to down it back at the 16?
Yeah, that was some lackadaisical play right there. Looks like nobody really went after it hard.
Which is why...
After review, the call on the field stands. Lunkers ball, 3rd down.
So, play stands, no fumble. Lunkers have it, but they lose a lot of ground on that scramble by Jones, who, when he turned back around to his left, he ran into a defender.
But I'd still say this is 4-down territory regardless.
Yes, you got Kit Denton going to throw this one. Left-handed quarterback, rolls, throws it into the end zone, and it is almost picked off by Lee again. Almost had that one intended for Matt Rush, and it was incomplete, but Lee almost got yet another interception. Look at this.
And a miscommunication, because I feel like if Rush stays continuing to go across the field, he gets there. That little stutter step right there is the reason why he was behind the ball. I think if he continues to go after that, that's a touchdown for the Ozark Lunkers. He's ahead of him there. Just a miscommunication here, now 4th down.
Jones back in, motion. This is Robinson. Vertical, they're going to throw it up. He is wide open in the corner of the end zone. Whistle before the play, and there's the flag.
We'll see what the call, probably going to see it here.
Before the play, we had to delay a game. So we got a 5-yard penalty against Ozark Lunkers. Still 4th down.
Clock ran out before that play began, so that'll go against the Lunkers.
I think even with the surrender, you're going to be around the same field position regardless, so don't see why not trying to go for it here. Take a shot at the end zone from about 21 out.
2 wide receivers to the right, Kit Denton to the left. Bryant in motion. They're going to go to the right, and it is overthrown, and the Hound Dogs will take over at about midfield.
Just not a great handling of the possession there at the end for the Lunkers. Great setup to get them inside the 5, but then just wasn't able to convert on any chances up close. The sack, or excuse me, I don't even know if they're going to call that a sack on the stat sheet at all. But now with Memphis taking over, chance to make this a 2-score game now with about 6:34 left to play.
Snap, here's the give to Bell up the middle. Bell will bowl his way forward, get it across the 21 to the 22, gain of 1 on that first down carry.
And now you'll see right now he's in on the table, in the medical table, number 9, Adrian Fox for Memphis. So we might need to keep an eye on that one.
Snap back. They throw short. Stackins and all kinds of laundry thrown on the field here. Flags thrown. Byron Pearson talking it over.
Holding, offense number 0. The 10-yard penalty. It remains second down.
And that'll be on Permonte Hamilton. On this one, sets him back, and it is that number 18 continuing to be at quarterback. So a new quarterback in for Memphis. Currently John Doe to us up here.
And he's going to run up the middle. He does cut outside after he gets across the line of scrimmage, but not anywhere close to the first down.
Seems to be more mobile than the original starter. That would have been Sky Forest, but just a simple quarterback run up the middle. Great job being able to cut up some of that yardage. And now 2nd and 8, or excuse me, 3rd and 8, so able to get some yards back and make it more of a manageable 3rd down.
He'll throw short to the right, hit as soon as he's caught over there across midfield to about the 24-yard line. The Hound Dogs moving it. They've got a 4th down and about 4 here at the 23 of the Lunkers. We're under 5 minutes to play in the first half. Hound Dogs lead it 12-6 here in Springfield, Missouri. Snap back, quarterback looking downfield. All kinds of time, no rush. The ball thrown up, and it is deflected and nearly picked off by the Lunkers' Hughes. Boy, he could have had that one with ease. Went off his fingertips. We've had a few of those that probably should have been caught or intercepted in the game. Instead, the Lunkers take over as they hold on possessions.
And DeJuan Hughes is definitely going to be shaking his head. An absolute gift, as that ball was just floated way too much air under that one. Wide open to the end zone. Needed to be a much better throw, as you're never going to get a pass that open in a while.
So Lunkers will have it 1st and 10 now. And they get it at their own 23. Terry Jones with Emory Bryant Jr. in the backfield. He dots the I. Jones takes a snap, gives it to Bryant Jr. Up the middle he goes. He'll get it to midfield, and he'll be yanked down from there. Not much on that carry.
And one thing that I'm noticing is very different from other games from the Ozark Lunkers is safety sitting about 15 to 20 yards off. So they're waiting for that deep throw from this Lunkers offense, trying to sit on this air-heavy offense. And so far, it's been working.
Kit Denton in motion. They're going to go left instead. Caught over there by Emory Bryant Jr. Gets it at about the 19-yard line. Still about 2 yards shy of the first down marker. Brings up 3rd down, and we will call it 2 for the Lunkers here. Bryant Jr. stays in the backfield to the right of the quarterback. Shotgun formation. Gonna fake the handoff. They're gonna go short, and it's bobbled, kicked out by Rush. Rush had it and the first down at about the 10, and plenty of room in front of him, but he couldn't hang on.
And this is definitely 4-down territory here. Don't see why not. Need to pick this one up, though, as the Lunkers did receive the ball at the start of the half, so they won't get the ball at halftime. Again, 3 minutes is forever in this league, but how much plays will be able to get off. But going empty here, Matt Rush going to be motioning from the backfield.
Vertical motion to the right side. Jones rolls to his right, now the left. He's got a man open over there, and it's incomplete. Now we have a flag thrown, perhaps a late hit in the backfield.
I think they're going to get Meonte Kimbrough on that one. Came in after the ball was thrown. So we're going to get a call from the Whitecap here in just a moment. Officials talking over, and this might end up being a gift to the Ozark Lunkers. Just missed him wide open.
Yeah, Jones' touch pass is not quite there in this game.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense. Half the distance to the goal. Results of that penalty is a first down.
And that's going to be one of those, you don't always have to be good. Sometimes you just got to be lucky. Misses him there, but lucky enough to get a yellow hanky thrown that goes their way, that resets the drive. First and goal now from the 10-yard line.
Jones with Bryant Jr. to his left, in motion to the right. Jones rolls to the right, looking into the end zone, being pressured, throws it high, and it's incomplete. Intended for Emory Bryant Jr. Second and goal now for the Lunkers. Plenty of time left in the first half. Lunkers would love to tie this one up at intermission.
It looks like game clock ahead of the play clock here, so don't need to get a play off with a 2-minute warning. Looks like they're lining up anyways, maybe trying to get him to jump offside.
And there's the 2-minute warning. So we will take a break here. Memphis Hound Dogs on top of the Ozarks Lunkers, 12-6. This is the Arena League on YouTube. Well, 2 minutes left in the first half, 12-6. Memphis on top of Ozark. Ozark trying to tie it up on this possession. Second and goal here. Terry Jones, the quarterback from Morgan State. As his team set, takes a snap, drops back a couple, rolls to his left, looking, throws it middle of the field, ball tipped up and into the hands of his teammate. That's Austin Potter diving forward for the TD. Potter from Buffalo ties the game up at 12 on the deflection.
And there's a deflection that goes the way of the Ozark Lunkers. Again, as you said earlier, Tom, right place, right time, gets in there, ties this game up. Chance to take the lead here for the Ozark Lunkers.
They're going to go for one here. So they're trying to go for the lead inside 2 minutes of the first half.
And since they're inside the 5, I am sure they're not able to run the ball.
Snap back to Jones, rolls to his left, looking, throws it short and incomplete. He was being rushed heavily on the play, but tie game at 12. And it'll be a throw off here for the Lunkers. How about Potter, though? Been in the military for several years after his high school football career ended in nearby Buffalo, Missouri. Been in the military, still in the National Guard, does the weekend thing, the weekend warrior thing. Proud American soldier, and came out, played football, scored 2 touchdowns in his opening professional football game on his birthday 2 weeks ago. And here he is with another touchdown at home in front of his family and friends.
Such a great story to hear about him, and a great contributor for this Ozark Lunkers offense that definitely utilizes all of their receivers in any way that they can with how much they throw the ball. So great to hear. So we're going to see an Ozark Lunker coming off the field that looked to be number 9, Dennis Robinson, who was the one who originally got hurt as he went over the boards.
Daniel with the throw off here. Did it make it? Nope, did not make it to the 10. You got to get to at least the 10. It bounced at about the 11, and that'll mean it'll be Memphis ball. You know, with 1:53 to play in the half, that's not exactly what you wanted to see. Apologize for talking over the official there, but you don't want to see that right with this much time left, given that much field position.
But that's just the risk you take when you take in those low throws. They're aiming for that bounce so all of the kickoff unit can run and get there and hopefully corral it as the ball's getting to the returner's hands. It's just the risk you take, is have to make that throw almost perfect. Couldn't get it on that one, and now a great opportunity for Memphis.
Snap back, they give it to Bell up the middle. Bell's got some running room. He tries to veer outside and is tripped up at the 21-yard line. So gain of 4 for the converted linebacker at UT Martin, now running back. 2nd and 6 for the Hound Dogs. The clock continues to tick. 1:30 to play in the first half. We're tied at 12. Clock winding down here. They'd get to snap off just prior to the clock. Stepping up, and a sack by the Lunkers in the backfield. Good pressure put on there by Amani Peoples.
And that's really good to see from this Lunkers defensive line, as again, down to what would be the 3rd string quarterback here for this Memphis team. Got to generate pressure for the signal caller back there under center, and a great job swarming to the ball, now 3rd medium.
Snap back up the middle, the running back, oh, what a play. 1st down and more, into the end zone for the score. Touchdown, Memphis. Quarterback keeper up the middle, wasted no time and took off right through the hash and scores. And the Hound Dogs lead this one now 18-12.
And one thing that this Memphis team has been doing great all game, playing short field almost all game, but they've been playing all sides of the field horizontally. They've been spreading all of their plays out, spread the defensive line out enough to where just one hole up the middle there through the A gap is enough. Take it down 20 yards, able to get a touchdown and give Memphis the lead.
Going for 2 here. Pass wide open right side, and just walking in is Tony Bell. 2-point conversion, 20-12. That's the mistake, giving the ball to the Hound Dogs with less than 2 minutes left in the first half. They get the easy touchdown, then the 2-point conversion. And an 8-point lead for Memphis here with about 42 seconds to play.
And definitely bad for the Lunkers, mainly for the first, obviously that they're now down in this one 8 by 8 points, but Ozark Lunkers has just been a team that's not been able to convert on extra point chances often, so not something you want to see, having now need a score and an extra point conversion, but also 42 seconds left and having the throw off coming in. Grim situation here for the Lunkers. Really need to get some points on the board in this one, as we're going to see Emory Bryant Jr. He'll be the one receiving the throw off here.
Gotta wonder if that's not Kevin Taylor, the quarterback, who had started the first 2 games in relief of Sky Forest. They listed him at number 78, but anyway, whoever the quarterback is, we'll find out at halftime. Here's a throw off, picked up by the Lunkers Bryant Jr., and he barely gets across the 5, down at the 8. And the Lunkers deep in their own territory here. That's the difference between the possession just prior for the Hound Dogs. They get it at midfield. Lunkers got to go the entire distance of the field. Now, it's a big play league, 7-on-7, big play. Doesn't take long, but you have a safety back there that's doing a good job, deeper than the deepest, and that's been their rule of foot defensively in this game. Jones is set and ready to go. Going to try and chip away here. Flag thrown right away. They're going to go to the right. It is caught over there, and enough for a first down. That is Miles Kit Denton with the catch.
We'll see what the flag here is for on this one. Look to be is going to be a flag going at the line, so we'll see which way it goes. Officials talking it over here.
Yeah, the flag was thrown early. I mean, right as this ball was snapped, they threw it. So
I didn't see much movement, so possible encroachment maybe. We'll see.
Here we go. Well, they're trying to fill in the Lunkers coach on the penalty here.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both by the defense. Illegal defense and holding on the defense. That penalty decline results of play as a first down.
So they're going to take the first down, decline the penalty. And it'll be Lunkers ball. They mark it at the 18-yard line of Ozarks with 31 seconds to play in the first half. Hound Dogs lead it 20-12. Jones calling out the play here. 8 seconds left on the play clock. And now whistle, and looks like we got, was it timeout or movement? I think timeout is.
So I didn't see any flags get thrown, but now officials convening. Don't think it was a clock issue. Both of them seem to be running fine.
They talk it over here. 31 seconds to play in the half. Cam Bruffett is also discussing the situation with the officiating crew.
Got to be careful if you're Memphis, though, because this area of the field is actually where the Lunkers seem to be their most dangerous. So we're going to hear the call.
I think they're talking with the replay official up here.
That's a timeout. Clock needs to be reset. 25 seconds.
So they, nothing really, I guess. Snap back to Jones. Jones goes right, caught over there and into the wall. Double hit that time, and there's a flag late. Oh, and extracurricular activity going on there. You saw the extra hit on the receiver, Bryant Jr., and I think the Lunkers retaliated on that extra hit.
Didn't see any flags at first, but would be shocked if there isn't one. A little extra pushing and shoving at the end of that one, far after the whistle. We'll see.
White hat there, Byron Pearson talking it over.
Looking for the ball, so I don't think there's going to be anything.
Wow, nothing. Interesting. Jones takes a snap, being pressured here, throws it quickly. Caught. That's Potter. Potter across the 20 down to the 15. Quick timeout called by the Lunkers here. Austin Potter with the quick catch.
Timeout.
First down for the Lunkers as they get it to the Hound Dogs. Looks like 17-yard line, 1st and 10.
Correction, no timeout.
And in this area of the field, especially with the Ozark Lunkers, definitely something you need to be careful for is a crossover the middle. Some of those routes coming from the far end of motion, that's where they normally find their success in this area of the field.
Snap back, 10 seconds to play. Jones rolls to his right, throws it into the end zone high, and it's intercepted, or now they're going to say incomplete. May have been deflected out of the hands of the D-back in the end zone, but the clock expires here, so that may be the end of the first half. They tried to throw it up. Well, that's it. That's the end of the first half. So 20-12, your halftime score. The Hound Dogs over the Ozark Lunkers. We will take a break and recap it when we come back. This is the Arena League on YouTube. And welcome back. It is halftime here at Wilson Logistics Arena, and the Memphis Hound Dogs on top of the Ozarks Lunkers by a score of 20-12. My name is Tom Ladd. Ryan Swanson alongside. And Ryan, so far in this one, we've seen a couple different quarterbacks for Memphis. Little running attack by the Hound Dogs and their quarterbacking, and then Ozark doesn't look like Terry Jones is in rhythm right now with some of his receivers.
Yeah, but we did get word, quickly ran down, talked with the coaches down with Memphis. Quarterback number 18 is actually Kevin Taylor, who was the starter at the beginning of the season wearing number 18 here for the Memphis Hound Dogs. But yeah, it's been a very interesting game. Ozarks Lunkers, just a lot of miscommunications for an offense that has been playing very good so far to start the season. Miscommunications with the receivers. I'd like to see Jones want to be a little bit more mobile, not really taking those runs up the field, which as Memphis has been utilizing, have been getting good yardage out of. So hopefully you want to see that come later into the game. But then over to the Memphis side, they're using the short field well. I want to see them dial it up a little bit. They're using the short field. Safeties are pushing up. I'm waiting to see them take a couple shots downfield. They're ahead. They get the ball. I'm expecting to see that when we get out into the second half, take a shot early. Try and really put the pressure on the Lunkers here on the road. But so far been a very interesting game. Hopefully offenses get in sync and we see some more points get on the board.
Well, the other games in the Arena League tonight, St. Joe playing at Iowa tonight. It is Eau Claire is playing at Nebraska. St. Joe, Nebraska, both undefeated heading into tonight's action. Of course, this contest in Springfield, Missouri. And then Arkansas is at Monroe. There you see the games week 3. But you've got some undefeated teams in the North Division right now in St. Joe and Nebraska, along with a couple teams that haven't won yet in Eau Claire and Iowa. And boy, it is as competitive as it gets in the South. All teams at 1-1, Memphis, Monroe, Ozarks, and Arkansas. And Ryan, one thing about it, if there's a tie at the end of the season, it's points allowed that determines who goes on.
Yes, interesting, and I do got some score updates here for you guys back at home as all these games getting ready to head into halftime currently. Eau Claire trailing Nebraska 30-19 over in Nebraska, heading over to Monroe. They're up 31-26 against the Diamonds, and then St. Joe leading Iowa 29-6. So those are the scores from around the league as those games ready to enter halftime.
And again, we had the Offensive Player of the Week from St. Joe, Angelo Trujillo, who put up some big numbers against the Lunkers last week. There his Trujillo, who has been with the St. Joe team a couple of years now. He is a really good, he's got some weapons too at receiver this season and last year as well. But he is the Arena League Offensive Player of the Week. He just picked apart the Lunkers and their injury-riddled defense. Lost a couple of players in the defensive unit last week, and he just tore them apart, scoring 77 points. Halftime here in Springfield, and it's the Memphis Hound Dogs on top of the Ozarks Lunkers, 20-12. More coming up. This is the Arena League on YouTube. And we're back, halftime at the Tackle Box, Wilson Logistics Arena. My name is Tom Ladd, Ryan Swanson right there. 20-12, the Memphis Hound Dogs on top of the Ozarks Lunkers. Halftime show going on. The Lady Lures performing here at midfield right now. Just part of the entertainment here for the Lunkers throughout the seasons that they've had. This is year number 3 for the Lunkers. There's a few of the original teams still in the Arena League, and the Lunkers, one of those. Of course, the first year for the Memphis Hound Dogs. I was interested to watch the broadcast last week in Memphis, and they got the blue suede end zone in Memphis, which I love to see. Blue suede end zone in Memphis. That was fantastic, and obviously good job by the Hound Dogs to pick up their win over the Iowa Woo. We got some highlights ready for you now of this first half. 20-12 is your halftime score. And as it was the first week, the first score of the game went to the Lunkers. Kit Denton with the touchdown reception to get the scoring underway. He, of his 40-plus vertical jump, Ryan, I said that right. He's got a 40-plus inch vertical jump. Didn't need it on that play, but he is an electric receiver, very athletic. There's an interception thrown by the quarterback, Jones. And again, the touch pass is not quite there so far in this game. We'll see what happens in the second half. That's the quarterback we had talked about, Kevin Taylor, who came in for the Hound Dogs, and he led them to a couple touchdowns in the game. Jones again rolling to his left a little bit. And you see the slow motion, throws it away as the Lunkers trail this one by 8 here at halftime. And making some adjustments right now in the locker room, Ryan, and that's what you'd expect from the two coaches. They got to do something to get the offense going. 20-12 doesn't seem quite like the kind of numbers that they're used to putting up.
No, not at all. And I think on the Lunkers side, it's just a matter of getting in sync and starting to communicate a little better. As you see it on some of these plays, Terry Jones just not looking comfortable as he's making these throws sitting in the pocket. Doesn't look like the offense is really in sync together. Missing a couple of easy plays, couple of miscommunications on the routes. Really need to come out, script this first drive, get a couple of short throws in, try and get him more comfortable, maybe mix in a little bit of run, something you don't see from this team often, but just do anything to get the sync back and going. So want to see that from the Lunkers. And then coming in from the Memphis side of things, it's really just a matter of I want to see them be a little bit more aggressive. Memphis, a team that plays short, they don't take risks that often. They have the lowest average yardage and passing yards and rushing yards in the league for a reason. Not really a team that plays it for the deep ball or for the big play, but really need to see that, especially getting the ball coming out of the half. Want to see him finally try and take a shot, especially now that you got your starting quarterback, Kevin Taylor, back. Might see a little bit of a play change. Might have been that short play just for the backup quarterback that was in. So we'll see how the Hound Dogs come back. Want to see them try and be a little bit more aggressive as they get their starter back up with the ball on the road.
Well, you wonder how much of an effect losing the big tight end for the Lunkers, Dennis Robinson, 6'5", tight end. He got hurt early in the game, tried to come back and made a great offensive play, but we saw him right at the end of the first half being helped off, holding his arm. So something a little more serious wrong with Robinson, and he's a big play guy because he's so tall and athletic.
And they definitely use him, especially that's their main short yardage red zone threat. Just lob it up to the tall guy. He probably is going to get a hand on it. So definitely going to be a huge loss to the Lunkers in the short game. But honestly, with the way this team is structured, the way they play, not really a team that's going to go downfield and drive the whole length of the field. Big play team, air it out, really take the big shots often. But those touch passes that they rely on from Terry Jones just haven't been there. The way that they play football, the way they're playing is not helping with that at all. So I think maybe just changing up how they call their plays, try and get Jones more comfortable is definitely going to help. But a huge loss with Robinson is if you didn't see on that first drive that they had, he jumped for a ball and then landed on the concrete outside the boxes. He went head first using his arms to try and break his fall, which is why the apparent arm injury gripping his shoulder looked to be his right shoulder, I believe, if I remember correctly. So definitely a loss for the Lunkers.
All right, 20-12, your halftime score. Hound Dogs on the road on top of the Ozarks Lunkers. We're going to take another break. More of our halftime show coming up from Springfield, Missouri. It's the Arena League on YouTube. Welcome back to Wilson Logistics Arena, affectionately known as the Tackle Box. First meeting between the Memphis Hound Dogs and the Ozarks Lunkers so far. Hound Dogs on top 20-12. And Ryan, we sent our investigative reporter down to the locker rooms at halftime, and we now have the unmarked players that we went through. We talked to the coaches before the game, got all the rosters, got all the players and everything, and then they tricked us right before the game. So we know the relief quarterback came in, Kevin Taylor. He played against Nebraska and started the game last week against the Woo, against Nebraska. He was 9 for 23 for 142 yards, had 3 TDs and 2 picks. Started off the game against the Woo last week, but this week it was Sky Forrest who started this game at QB. He is wearing number 18, so we've got that figured out. We guessed on Donald Gray being number 4, not number 2. We got that taken care of. Thank you to our investigative reporter. And we also know now that Kewan Malone was the number 14. They made a mistake, gave him number 7, so they changed all the jerseys on us right before the game. We got it figured out. You can't stump us.
And by investigative reporting, thank you. Thank God I wore my running shoes today. Ran down there, grabbed the head coach for Memphis before running to the locker room for halftime adjustments. So glad we got that mystery figured out. Hopefully no more number tricks on us here. And this would have been a lot nicer if we had the nameplates for Memphis, but obviously got to work with what we have. But thankfully we got that all resolved, as now the Lunkers coming back out from their locker room. Hopefully the adjustments they make, trying to get back in this one down 8. And again, only down 8, but again, with a big deal with the Lunkers, now they play extra points or a place where this team does struggle. So being down 8, with their efficiency on the extra point, I'd honestly say that you already should make this, chalk it up to be a 2-score game at the worst case scenario, just because of how inconsistent they've been at the start of this season with those extra point conversions. And I'm looking, and it currently looks like the big tight end number 9 still not coming out from the locker room, as that we talked about would have been a huge loss, as Robinson. We'll see if he does come out. And so far, no sign of him out on the field. If he is off for a speedy recovery. That was a nasty fall that he took at the start of this one.
We should mention the location here, Wilson Logistics Arena. It's at the fairgrounds in Springfield, Missouri, North Springfield. They affectionately call it the Tackle Box, the official name Wilson Logistics Arena. It holds 6,300. They have all kinds of events here. Tractor, motorcycle, they've got trade shows, they got all kinds of stuff here. They put wrestling mats in here, just a lot going on in this facility. You see it there. They got 2 levels. There's 2,800 seats in the upper level. Of course, the field, as you can tell, with the hockey walls on the outside, they have dimensions of 50 yards by 85 feet wide. That's the dimensions of an Arena League field. And then they've got those hockey walls going around on the outside, and suites here in Springfield for the fans. A lot of the donors using the suites here, which is good. The Lunkers with the throw off to start this second half. Down the field, right up the middle, and down at the 20-yard line will be the return man for the Hound Dogs.
And this special teams unit for this Memphis Hound Dogs team done a great job just blocking, giving the return man able to get upfield. Very rarely have they not gotten past the 20. I think only one time so far, and that was just off a bounce that went the wrong way. So far the special teams unit also doing a good job, as that's normally the trickiest part about those throw-offs, is trying to get outside of your own 10 with the nature of the way the throw-off works. So really good to see. Great special teams play from the Hound Dogs.
Sky Forrest back in at quarterback. He's going to give to the first man through. This is Bell, Tony Bell, up the middle, and he'll get it right to midfield, if not about a yard over that. So it'll be at the 24 of the Lunkers, and that'll be a gain of 5 for Bell right up the middle. Bell in the backfield with Forrest. Now he trots over to the left, lines up as a receiver and goes in motion. Here's a quick pass to the right. This is Donald Gray, and Gray will get it to the 20-yard line, and he'll be dropped there on that quick out by Forrest. About a yard shy, maybe a half yard shy of the first down marker.
And this really compact lineup that this Hound Dogs team has gotten up with these motions going horizontally really opens up some space for the short yardage, and have been playing it great through this one.
Here's a quick hitter and a pass over the top and complete to Kewan Malone. Wide receiver had 2 steps on the D-back, makes the catch for a 20-yard TD strike. Look at that. He had plenty of room past the D-back for the touchdown there. Makes it now 26-12. Memphis on top here in the third quarter. They'll go for 2. Forrest has his team set, vertical motion. Dropping back and being rushed and down finally on the play. That is Carter with the sack for, or no, that's Smith, isn't it? Oh. Yep, that is Gabe Smith, who was a top lineman for the Lunkers last year. Gabe Smith gets the sack on the extra point, but another score to start this second half by the Hound Dogs. Good drive.
Great drive. Great job scheming that one up. Short plays, and all they needed was just that one matchup on the outside. Got him by 1 step. Fake the handoff, and just a beautiful strike over to the back shoulder into the red turf. So a great scripted drive from Memphis. Had a game plan, executed it beautifully. And one thing that, again, is not something you always see with teams is Memphis doing a good job mixing the run and the pass. Again, with the shorter field, the compact playing surface, not always common to see teams who just mix the plays up a little bit. Again, about a 70-30 split between pass and running the ball, which is pretty heavy on the run side for the Arena League.
Throw off for the Hound Dogs. Caught by the Lunkers. This is Miles Kit Denton trying to get outside. Turns, goes the other way to the right. Now still on his feet. Spin move at the 15 to the 10. Still going. Loses a football, but it's picked up by his teammate Potter. Good run, but flags all over the place.
And the nature of the way those were thrown, I don't think the Lunkers fans will be cheering too much, as I think this would be a holding coming back the other way.
Holding. Return team, number 18, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. It'll be first down. Lunkers.
That'll go against DJ Ruff with the hold.
And they called that as a spot foul, so I think that's going to put him around between the 10 and the 15, I believe. Oh no, a little bit further back than that. They're going to be spotted at the 7-yard line. So flip sides of the field for the Lunkers, back against the wall. But again, a chance for the offense to try and get back into its normal routine that you would see as this offense normally very high scoring, airs it out, but this Memphis defense has done a great job holding them.
Jones with Bryant Jr. in the backfield. He'll go in motion to his left, takes a snap. Jones looking downfield, rolls to his right. Now he goes upfield, throws it short, and it's incomplete. Incomplete, in and out of the hands of his receiver there. That's Ruff.
And it's something you hear all the time. You got to have the ball before you move your feet. And on this one, you'll see throws it, tries to start moving before the ball gets to him. And that's something you'll hear from football day one when you first put on the pads. So something that's not great to see from the Lunkers' chance to break up field. But
Lunkers in tight here offensively on this 2nd and 10. Pump fake, here's a throw downfield, and it's overthrown, intended for Matt Rush, who is covered well. Lots of white jerseys there on that in-tight offensive play.
And right there, Terry Jones, I want to see him run the ball. You have a wide open lane right there, something you don't see from him often. Instead of forcing that ball up, he needs to be able to just tuck that ball and get 5 or 6 yards out of it. And especially with where you're on the field, that would have made it 3rd and medium, maybe even dive for a first if you have the chance to break a tackle or two. You want to see him try and use his legs a little bit more.
Motion man to the left. Jones rolls to his right. He throws it the other way, and it's incomplete. Pass intended for Miles Kit Denton and tipped on the play. And looks like the Lunkers may surrender.
Lunkers have elected to surrender. Ball be close to the 15-yard line.
Get the ball
First
on the
down,
surrender. Surrender means on 4th down, when you're deep in your own territory, you can surrender and give the ball up to the opposing team. They get it at the 15-yard line, and that's what the Lunkers decided to do there on 4th down.
Again, we've talked about it a lot, but one thing I want to point out is this secondary for Memphis has played great. Mostly it's been a good mix of man and zone coverage throughout the field, but they've done a great job keeping up with these very quick and shifty Lunkers receivers. They've done a great job in the secondary. Lunkers maybe try and switch it up, go a little bit shorter. Your game's not out of hand yet. You're still in the 3rd.
Yeah, the Memphis Mafia fan club pretty happy right now with the way things are going. Here is pass downfield, open man, and incomplete. Falling down on the play is Donald Gray, but Luton also running stride for stride with him as they turned right at about the goal line. It looked like Gray had some steps on Luton, and instead he slipped, and Luton almost picked it off.
And we talked about it in the break. They took a shot. We saw it. They took a shot downfield. And now also it's Sky Forrest back in at quarterback.
Yeah, you mentioned that last, he threw the touchdown pass on that last possession.
Definitely seems to have the stronger arm of the two.
He drops back here, throws short. It is caught and dropped. What are they going to say here? There's that big tight end again, number 90, Michael Stackens. Went to the University of Memphis, played in the American Conference Championship game. And it's 3rd down and 10 now for the Hound Dogs.
Coming into this one, Memphis averaging around 33% here on 3rd down. About 1 in 3 chances that they take, they're succeeding with a 3rd and long here.
Vertical motion. Forrest throws it way overthrown that time, intended for his running back, Tony Bell. And again, that one I don't think Wemby could have got either. That was up there, and it'll bring up 4th down, and it looks like Memphis will surrender. So the officials have to jog the ball to the other 15. So far, the offenses, other than the scoring strike by the Hound Dogs on their first possession, not moving the way they'd like.
But a bit of a lifeline here for the Lunkers is, again, it was a not so great offensive drive to start, but now you got a chance to right the ship, game's not at hand yet, but I think you have enough time here in the third. You don't have to completely go away from your identity, but maybe try and just change up the nature of the plays that you're calling here, because right now, this secondary is keeping up quickly with these receivers. Try something new here. Incorporate the run game. Just try and get yardage in any way right now, just to get your legs moving.
Jerry Harris Jr. is the center for the Lunkers. The give is to Emory Bryant Jr., who gets outside to the left. And he'll get close to first down yardage, about nine yards on that carry to the left. But again, new center this week, Jerry Harris Jr., 6'4", 310. You remember week 1 at home, how many center snaps went over the head of the quarterback that were costly for the Lunkers. But Harris Jr.'s done a good job. Fake the handoff. They throw deep into the end zone. Ball is caught and dropped. Caught and dropped by Miles Kit Denton. And again, pretty good coverage defensively. That was Lee back, the 5'9" defensive back from Memphis, getting his hand in on the play.
Unfortunately, you couldn't really put that ball more ahead of him as he's right at the wall there. So the only place that ball could really go. Sticks with him. Great coverage from Lee. But that was second and short, so now third and short. Obviously, the play action shot.
Ball
Something
right
that's common there.
Ball right at midfield here for the Lunkers. Snap back to Jones. He rolls to his left. Now he's going to take up the middle, get the first down, and then he is pulled down. So he got the first down. He listened to you. He heard you from up here. Said you got to run the ball. And yard to go on 3rd and 1. Could have done it the next play too, but they get the first. They move the chains.
Listen, any yards is better than no yards. Good to see him use his legs, and maybe that would compress the secondary a little bit. Have him play further up close, open those deep shots that maybe Ozark trying to look for. You'll see Kit Denton almost on the boards here on the far side of the field.
Rush in motion right side. Jones looking that way, throws back the other way. Little screen set up over there. All dragged down on the play, Emory Bryant Jr., and there's a flag. Horse collar type tackle by the Hound Dogs. Bryant Jr., they rolled to the right and then set up a little screen to the left. Caught by Bryant Jr. and a tackle made, but flag was thrown, and here's the white hat.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle on the defense, 15-yard penalty.
And now one play we could have called from up here in the box. You'll see it here. Trying to get the spin move. Only guy there. It happens. You're going for the play. Not really looking where your hand's going. Just the nature of the game. But now inside the 10, go the Lunkers.
Ethan Hassler with the penalty there for the Hound Dogs. 1st and goal here. 2 motion men. Jones rolling to his right, and he is going to be pulled down behind the line of scrimmage. Hamilton got in there quickly for the Hound Dogs, and he celebrates on the field after the sack. Look at that. Boy, he got in there real quick. He's the Ohio State defensive tackle, making a difference for the Memphis Hound Dogs.
And right there, he went on block, trying to get it to the route right there from the man who was supposed to be blocking, but he got there so quick, wasn't even able to get there. But that's one. Jerry Jones now going off.
Well, his helmet came off, so see what they do here. They've got in the backfield again Miles Kit Denton. He's a quarterback, high school quarterback, lefty. Jones will have to sit out a play here. Kit Denton will take the snap, high snap. Lefty rolls to his left, throws it short, incomplete. Hadn't thrown the ball much, but incomplete there.
Crossbody on the run. First snap in, not really a play that's going to be easy for anyone to make. Coming in, even the starter, so not an easy ball to get in. Now falls incomplete. 3rd and goal from the 21, and I think even in this scenario, this is 4-down territory. So maybe not looking for the end zone on this play, trying to just get closer. But I would be highly unlikely that the Lunkers surrender with an incomplete here.
Jones back in there. He takes off. Did he get across the line of scrimmage? Spins inside the 10, down to the 8. Oh, here's a a challenge. Did he get across the line of scrimmage?
I don't know.
You have to run through the hash, and that's the question. That's the challenge on the red flag. They want to know if he got through and across the line of scrimmage while he was in the hash.
Last play is under review. Coach's challenge.
So they will check this out.
We'll get another look at it here, but again, yardage mark around the 21. They moved the sticks, but I think that's around where the line of scrimmage was. So if we go back, we'll see if he got over inside the hash over. So here's the play here. Sits with it. That's close, but I feel like if it's at the 21, I think that's still, I think that's fair play. I think he stays in. Yeah, from there. And I'm assuming just like it's like an out of bounds marker in traditional football, the ball has to, not necessarily
foot right there
the man.
At the 21. So
I feel like that would stand and stay in bounds, but again.
See where the official is, the foot.
Yep.
Even a little bit further than the official.
I think that's going to stand. I think the call from at least this angle, obviously the officials having to talk it over, now talking with the coach.
Here comes the call.
Quarterback was in the running lane. Lunkers ball, 4th down and goal.
So it wasn't announced specifically, but it does stand.
Yeah, well, he was fine, so it's now 4th and goal. So they got to get in here.
Not necessarily game on the line type play, but probably the biggest play of this game for the Lunkers.
And being pressured again and forcing a tough throw by Jones. He throws it away a little low, and the Hound Dogs will take over. You know, they bring the pressure when they need to. You know, they're very opportunistic with the pressure defensively. That time they pressed on Jones, and he threw it wildly. Incomplete, and it'll be Hound Dogs ball. They lead this one 26-12 here in the 3rd quarter.
And with any type of football you play, when you play a team that airs the ball out as much as the Lunkers do, the number one thing that's on top of the clipboard for goals of the week is get pressure. And right now, the Memphis Hound Dogs doing a great job, making it hard for the Lunkers to make any plays downfield and just helping out their offense, still give them a little bit of cushion. Playbook's really open here.
Sky Forrest still in at quarterback. High snap. He's going to run up the middle. Bowl his way forward, and he'll get it across the 10. So gain of 2, maybe 3 on that first down carry by the big quarterback. 6'5", 230-pound from Lane College.
And you'd have to think maybe that you have the starter here for this team, Kevin Taylor, on more of like a snap count basis.
Well, he came in relief. It was Sky Forrest that started. Here's a nice pass by Forrest. Ball caught and a first down. That's their receiver, Donald Gray. So Forrest started, and I think he may have been banged up a little bit. I thought they were working on a leg during the 2nd quarter when Taylor came in, and appears to be okay now in this 3rd quarter. We'll see if he goes the rest of the way. 1st and 10 here for the Hound Dogs. In the backfield, Tony Bell to the left of the quarterback. Oh boy, they just got the snap off. Here's a pass to the big tight end. That is Hamilton, 6'3", 265. Between Hamilton, number 0 and number 90, they tilt the scales at a combined 275 pounds average-wise. Average. You've got 285 for Stackens and 265 for Hamilton. Some big boys. At tight end. Here comes Forrest again up the middle, lowers his shoulder, and he runs head on with his would-be tackler there. Picks up right at about 8 yards. They have the football at the 20 of the Lunkers, so they're mixing it up. Short passes, the running game by the quarterbacks. Bell has helped out offensively. Motion here. Again, they give to the running back here. And this is DJ Briggs, and he is brought down behind the line of scrimmage, loss of about 3. Little celebration there by the Lunkers. Gabe Smith in there. Also in on the tackle was DeJuan Hughes.
A great play right there from Smith, the Texas native. Big play right there. Now again, a 4th and short, but huge play for this defense. Got to step up here, help them out.
Quick pass right side intended for Gray. Well overthrown in the Lunkers hold. And they'll take over right at about midfield. So not a lot going on in this third quarter. We were thinking adjustments. They're going to make adjustments. We're going to have all kinds of scoring. We still may, but it hasn't been the case with 3 minutes to play in this third quarter.
You had a great first scripted drive from Memphis, but now adjustments have been made from that first drive. The Lunkers defense doing a great job. That one was just a bad play and a bad throw. A little bit too much gas under that one as it sails out into the sea of red out there for the Ozarks Lunkers faithful.
Well, I agree with you, too. The defense, the secondary of the Hound Dogs have done a good job controlling the speed receivers that the Lunkers have. For the most part, Jones has all kinds of time again, rolls to his right. He's going to throw short. It is caught. Gain of about 4. But they'll give up 4 as long as they don't throw anything long.
And not to take any credit away from the Hound Dogs, but their job's been made easy because there's not a lot of horizontal movement. It's all been vertical, straight up field. They haven't had to keep up with it much because there hasn't been movement across the field. The Lunkers need to mix in some of these routes over the middle field, try and use that speed instead of just moving straight up the field. On that one right there, it was just easy to drop back and sit.
2nd and 6. Pass middle of the field. It is caught and enough for a first down. Jumping catch made by Emory Bryant Jr. Catches that at the 15 and is dropped right there. Now a helmet goes down as he hurt on the play, maybe a foot, the way he was tackled. It is Emory Bryant Jr. Could be, they're doing some repairs. Looks like a cramp the way you see it on the screen there. Looks like you may have a cramp, so they're trying to work that out here at the middle of the field. It will be 1st and 10 for the Lunkers, who trail 26-12. Both teams are 1-1 on the season. Memphis lost to Nebraska 52-18 week 1, then came back and beat the Iowa Woo 50-18 last week. The Lunkers won at home week 1 against Eau Claire 48-32, but lost big at St. Joe last week 77-38. St. Joe has got a defense. Beware. St. Joe has got a defense.
Great defense, but also that second quarter for St. Joe, over 30 on the board, put more on the board in that quarter than almost the entirety of the Lunkers the whole game. An explosive second quarter really helped them out in that one with the pairing of that defense that played great all game. And I know to those who might be new to this type of league, yes, 38 points honestly is a good performance from a defense with how fast-paced and high-flying this league is. We see Emory Bryant finally get up and walk confidently off. Hopefully just tend to the cramp a little bit. Hopefully, best case scenario as a speedster who the Lunkers use often.
They do indeed. They've got Miles Kit Denton in the backfield now, and Potter to the right, Rush to the left. After retirement, he's back in, playing a lot in this game, in his first game back with the Lunkers. High snap, Jones picks it up, rolls to his left, finds Kit Denton over there. He makes the catch inside the 10-yard line right by the wall. Haven't seen as many collisions with the wall tonight as we normally do. Remember week 1? Oh my goodness.
That game was fast and aggressive, but this drive so far from the Lunkers, utilizing the run game more, little read option type movements from Jones. It's holding those linebackers and those edge rushers in place, trying to create some more space. And so far in this drive, it's been working. You got consistent offense. Now you just got to convert inside the 10.
1st and goal for the Lunkers. Jones drops straight back. Lots of time now. Rolls to his left. He's going to throw it into the end zone, and it's dropped again by the Lunkers. Ruff. How many dropped passes in this game by Ozarks? It have been costly. That's at least the second by Ruff.
and just not one that's definitely going to be looked at favorably for the Lunkers. But again, I'm going to keep beating the nail on the board here. Really just cut up the middle there, try and make the Hound Dogs come back down, maybe creates a space to a throw right as you get to the line of scrimmage. Just when he keeps rolling out, the defenders just sit and don't need to move. It just makes it harder for him to make these throws on the run.
2nd and goal now for the Lunkers. Jones going to run. He takes off up the middle. Now he's grabbed. He's going to throw it into the end zone. High jump. It is caught and then landing into and it's a touchdown. Is that Potter again? Jumping up and out of the field. Potter with the touchdown. Austin Potter from nearby Buffalo, Missouri, throws the football to his family and friends in the stands. And the Lunkers get on the board, but what a play by Jones as he was in the grasp of a defender and still got the pass off, up in the air to Potter, makes the catch and lands on his backside on the concrete. But what the heck, they're going to go for one here. Motion man is rushed. They're going to fire middle of the field. The ball is tipped up, incomplete, and no good on the extra point. 26-18 as the third quarter winds down. 3 seconds to play in the quarter. Hound Dogs with the lead. They'll get the football back on the throw off. Remember, no kicking in the Arena League. We talk about this a lot. We should update people watching for the first time. We have throw-offs, which is unique in Arena League football. There are other things that make this unique as well. You can surrender on 4th and deep in your own territory, which the teams have done a few times in this game. You can also, there are a couple other things that are pretty cool about this league as well. We'll talk about that as we go along because we'll have a Lunkers throw-off here.
So another quick thing is the different types of motion that you can have, not something you're used to in traditional 11-on-11 football. Vertical motions are allowed.
Here's a throw off by Daniel here. Downfield, he gets it plenty of depth. Caught there by Briggs. Briggs is banged into the wall. And he thinks he's still alive. He's going to run all the way to the bench over here. Perfect. End of the third quarter, that play, and we'll have the players coming back on to start the fourth quarter. 26-18, Memphis on top of Ozarks. Fourth quarter coming up. We'll take a break. This is the Arena League on YouTube. Well, the fourth and final quarter of this one, the Hound Dogs on top of the Lunkers, 26-18. We've got some other scores to report as well.
Swinging over to Nebraska, the Siege currently lead the Axemen 42-19 with 7 left to play in the third, and that won this game noticeably ahead of all other games currently happening around the Arena League. About the 10-minute mark of the third quarter, Monroe leads the Arkansas Diamonds 37-26, and then St. Joseph running away with it in Iowa, 37-8 your score. The Goats lead, looking to improve to 3-0 on the season. Nebraska also looking to improve to 3-0, both winning by considerable margins in those games. So 2 of the top teams seeming to emerge as here we are in week 3. Still got a whole fourth quarter left to play. Defense really needs to step up here, though, for the Lunkers.
Hound Dogs with the ball, and again, their starting quarterback, Sky Forrest, with the ball. Goes to the option right side. Bell will get it back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. These 2 teams back in action next week, by the way. Ryan, Monroe plays at Memphis, and the Ozarks Lunkers will be at Arkansas. So that's the games next week for these 2 teams. Memphis will host Monroe. That'll be at the Memphis Sports and Events Center. Get to see the blue suede end zone again. Give to Bell again. They try to eat up some time. Gets away from a tackler. Spins away from another. Gets a first down as he dives forward. Very close to midfield.
A good spin move to stay up on that one. Unable to wrap him up, and that's going to end up being costly. Play that would have been dead at around 2 or 3 yards ends up being a first down for Memphis. So just got to wrap up and execute defensively on that one.
Motion man right side. Here's a quick hitter to Bell left side. He'll get about 3 yards wrapped up and brought down by the wall over there. Tony Bell, they said, hey, give me the ball. I'll eat up some time on the clock here. Brandon Mackey did that for the Lunkers last year. He ended up being the league MVP. Ran it, receiver. Here's a pass, middle of the field. It is caught and in for the score. The big man, Hamilton, scoring for Memphis. Again, some rough tackling for the Lunkers there. Twice, tacklers, would-be tacklers, bouncing off of the offensive receivers or running backs of the Hound Dogs. That time, Hamilton takes it in for the score. The Ohio State player back in the day gets the touchdown, and it's 32-18. And now the Hound Dogs will go for 2 here. Forrest takes a snap. All kinds of time, no pressure now. He does. He throws it short. There's Hamilton again, dives forward and in for the 2-point conversion. 34-18. Memphis using the big man on the drive.
And this Memphis team, a noticeably bigger team in terms of the size difference from the secondary to the receivers, and utilizing that here. That's also the second touchdown pass thrown in this one for Sky Forrest. There's a good connection there to Hamilton. And definitely something putting the Lunkers back on their heels here. 13 to go, 2-score game. Definitely, again, that's with a, I think I did my math wrong actually on that one. More, can't do it in my head right now. We'll come back to it in a second. But
a couple defensive missed tackles by the Lunkers on that offensive series by the Hound Dogs. One when Bell was running the football, bounced off a tackler, and he ended up with a first down. Here's a throw off down the field, and again it hits the ceiling. Hits the ceiling again. That was thrown by Adrian Fox. So it'll be Lunkers ball at midfield.
I should have trusted my gut on that one. It is a 2-score game, 16-point game here for the Ozark Lunkers. Still a chance to get back into this one. You got it at midfield. This is your chance, but again, offensively, it's not a couple of miscommunications, a couple of just misplays, the drops we've been talking about. It's just been really a problem of execution. The plays have been there, the chances to make the plays have been there, just unlike the Lunkers of not being able to execute.
Jones rolls to his right, throws short. Ball caught by Matt Rush. He is hit into the wall at about the 20-yard line, and that's where they blow it dead. So gain of 5. Rush again trying to continue on with the play. Forward progress, he said, but the official blew it dead. 2nd and 5 for the Lunkers at the Hound Dogs 20. Jones backing up, now rolls, falls back. He's going to throw it, and it could be trapped. Was it caught? They're going to say what? Was it? Nope, incomplete. The ball bounced off the wall and then caught by the Hound Dogs' Friesen, and he may have gotten the wind knocked out of him. Now they're going to bring out the medical staff as he rolls around on the turf here. That's actually, let's see who that is. Who got hurt there on the defensive play for the Hound Dogs. Stopping play here in the 4th quarter with 12 minutes exactly to play. Player is up.
And it looked to be right there, especially with that type of play. Thinking more of a shoulder injury right there. You know, when you're diving for the ball, don't really realize where the wall is. You can sometimes just take one straight to the shoulder or to the side of your gut right there on the wall. So hopefully he'll be okay.
Looks like he's fine.
Looks he's fine. Might just have him off a couple plays.
Yep.
But been great defensively here in this one.
3rd and 5 for the Lunkers. Football at the Hound Dogs 20. I formation here. Shotgun. Now motion. Vertical for Rush. Rush on the left side, crosses in. Now they throw it deep. It is incomplete. Pass intended for Miles Kit Denton. And just at the last second, knocked out of his hands. He jumped up in the air. I thought he had it.
Trying to use every bit of that 46-inch vertical jump there. And again, gets there, jumps in front of him, does everything right, just isn't able to hold on to it right there. And that's just a 50-50 ball, and it just goes, that's the way it goes sometimes when you make those types of plays. But 4th and 5, Lunkers really need this one.
They do indeed, trailing by 2 scores at least. Jones rolling to his right, looking now. He's got some pressure. Goes back. He's going to go up the middle of the field. Now he's going to throw it in the end zone, and it's through the fingertips and dropped again. Another dropped pass, this time by Matt Rush. At least 4, maybe 5 drop passes by the Lunkers in this game.
I know Matt Rush has had a couple. I think that's his 2nd on the game.
Ruff's had a couple, I think. I think at least 5 drop passes been costly in this one for the Lunkers.
And not an easy one to come down with either. The ball was high. I don't think Rush was even expecting the ball to get to him originally, as it looked like it was going to be caught in front of him, but by the receiver in front of him. But now the Lunkers defense going to need to step up again. 11 minutes left in the 4th. Hound Dogs probably going to just take their sweet time with this one.
Kevin Taylor takes over at quarterback. He is the one who likes to run a little bit. Oh, he drops it off short. Ball is caught. This is Briggs, still on his feet to the right. Spins away, gets away from one tackler, still on his feet. Another case of bad tackling by the Lunkers as he gets it inside the 10 down to about the 6-yard line.
And that one right there just not wrapping up on their tackles right there, as we have another injured player for Memphis, and that looks to be number 4, Donald Gray.
Injury.
He trots off the field in his own accord, so that's good news. Right around that wall, the padded wall over there, but what a run. And again, missed tackles in this second half for the Lunkers, huge. Inside the 10, 1st and goal. Kevin Taylor, the quarterback, takes a snap, looks left, looks right, drops the ball, and then pounds on it before Gabe Smith can pick it up for the Lunkers. Looked like he was about to pass, and the ball just slipped out of his hands, so he had to dive on it.
Whistles everywhere.
Official timeout.
Player down in the end zone. Know if there's any contact or not.
So I don't know if we'll see it on this angle specifically. No.
So they're checking. Looks like another cramp over there. See him messing with the foot again. So time called with 10:04 to play in the contest. 34-18 Hound Dogs. They've had a pretty successful combination of the two quarterbacks in this game. Started off with Sky Forrest, relieved in the first half, and I thought Kevin Taylor came in and gave them a lift in that second quarter to give them a lead 20-12 at halftime. Forrest starts the third quarter and throws a great touchdown pass. He played well in the third quarter. Now you got Taylor back in there, so changing it up a little bit offensively, and they're two different guys, two different quarterbacks.
Both of them got 2 touchdowns through the air in this one, but then also you had a great run from Kevin Taylor from midfield, broke a couple tackles, fell into the end zone. So both having great games. And it really just makes it more difficult for a defense. You got 2 different style of quarterbacks.
Exactly.
Maybe you probably didn't game plan for having 2 quarterbacks. So definitely not something that's easy to adjust to. And the Hound Dogs doing a great job just being able to utilize that.
Taylor, you got to respect his running ability up the middle. He's at signal caller right now. In the backfield is Tony Bell. Taylor's going to roll to his left. He flips it, intercepted by the Lunkers, and back for the pick 6 is Amani Peoples. Peoples with a pick 6 on a ball that I can guarantee you Forrest did not want to throw. It was more of a option type pitch forward instead of a pass. An errant pass, by the way.
And I'm thinking maybe he was moving his I was thinking maybe his arm and got swatted, but I think he just loses control of it. And Taylor is going to be down on the field, but that might just be the momentum shift the Lunkers needed. And again, still down on the field is Taylor. As that, I believe, is a pick 6 in all 3 games the Lunkers have played this season as well. Had one last week on the opening drive against St. Joe, had one against Eau Claire, and now a big one here. Now it's a 10-point game, and it looks like they are going to line up for 2 to try and make this a 1-score game.
People 6'3", 235-pound lineman from Miami, Florida. Played for the Oregon Lightning in the past, Arena League team. Yeah, Taylor still down, and they're working on him over there. Looks like maybe, can't tell, but he is up. Could be a knee issue. They're going to have to help him off the field here. Yeah, they're going to bring somebody out. I was
gonna say, wouldn't be shocked either if they got stretcher just to help him take weight off it. But it looks like they're going to be able to help him off as well. As you can see there, looks to be his left leg.
So 9:47 to play. Now a 10-point game. And there's plenty of time in this fast strike league that is the Arena League. Lunkers will need to get some stops and get some scores like that if they want to get back into this one. Memphis, on their last drive, they were able to kind of eat up some time using their running back, Tony Bell, and then also the big tight ends, Hamilton. So Taylor still trying to walk off the field here, very slow steps. He's trying to put some weight on it. And the fans will give him a nice round of applause as he makes it to the bench over there near the end zone.
Gradually getting his way over there. Hope he's okay. Looks like he's putting more and more weight on it as he's going. So hopefully he's all right. Check him over at the medical table.
Give me a chance to tell you about the greatest promotion. I thought Memphis last week had bounty ball. They had a bounty on the first touchdown scored in Memphis last week, and it was Donald Gray that scored it. He got $250 out of that, and then every player on the field got $75 each. It was bounty ball. I love it. So first and goal for the Lunkers, and some movement against the Lunkers before the play even starts. That's going to be Jalen Jones, who is in as a receiver.
15, it's a 5-yard penalty. Point after
So that'll push him back 5 yards.
So Jelani Willis jumped, and I thought maybe there was going to be, looked like there was some movement after that, and then all of a sudden everyone's pointing at everyone. And out come the yellow hankies.
There you see, the penalty against Jalen Jones. Lines up on the left on the offensive line, runs receiver. Here's a quick hitter. Miles gets away from one would-be tackler, still on his feet. Gets away again, spins, and will get knocked down at about the 8. Ran 20 yards and picked up a few there, about 7 for the Lunkers, trying to make something happen.
We'll see here, and we'll see maybe on this angle, but he makes the move, and I thought he had a chance if he kept going to dive for it. I thought that's where he was going to go. Keeps the play alive, but that penalty coming to cost him, because I feel like that was the original plan anyways, as the edge rusher, Jelani Willis, came in off the edge, left that space open. I think that's where the Lunkers were intending to go before the penalty that set him back 5, so that's not going to help them out either. Still a 10-point game, 2-score game, but 9:09 left to play here in the 4th. Still a chance. Me and you, Tom, can both see from up here as they're working on the leg of Kevin Taylor. Looks like they're more working on his foot.
That was the point after, obviously, that went awry. Had a couple of opportunities. Here's the throw off by the Lunkers. It's going to bounce inside the 10. Big hop picked up by Briggs. Briggs is down at about the 2. Potter gets down the field quickly. The special teams unit trips him up, and tough field position here now for the Hound Dogs. And again, lots of time left in this one, 10-point game.
And you got to think here, I'm thinking they're just going to be a simple run up the middle. I mean, again, you're up 10, it's a 2-score game. You don't need to completely try and get all the yardage back. You got time, you got the clock on your side being up, and you got 4 downs to work with. So we'll see here, but a lot of motion coming out of this when they bunch up like this. A lot of motion that normally leaves a couple guys lost, able to get a quick hitter in the flats.
Forrest, the quarterback, with Bell behind him. The give is to Bell, and he is tackled in the end zone. What are they going to say? Nope, they say he is down at the half-yard line.
I'd be shocked if a challenge, maybe possibly a challenge flag. We'll see it here. Nope, never mind. I was going to say that angle looked like it was close, and I was kind of looking over, seeing maybe we saw a red flag come out, but down at the 1 now.
Gabe Smith, 6'3", 240-pound defensive lineman from Dayton, Texas. Played his football at Morehead State with the hit there.
Corner's got to be careful, walking for a quick hitter on an out route.
Here's a quick hitter, and knocked into the wall over there is Donald Gray, but exactly what you were talking about, a little quick hitter to get him out of the goal, out of the end zone there.
Right,
so it'll be third and about 7 here for the Hound Dogs.
Don't really understand why you had a safety help in case on the other side of the field. I don't know why you had DeJuan Hughes playing that far back on that. I would have figured he would have played press up, but now 3rd down here.
They may have to surrender if they don't get this first down. Here's a pass. Oh, caught. Nice play. Tough catch made by the Hound Dogs at the 15.
And let's get Horn Malone here on that one. Great throw to put that in the window, but I feel like the Lunkers just didn't play up. Didn't get any pressure, and then a beautiful throw. Just I don't think they were aggressive enough with the short fieldage that Memphis had to work with on that one. And now a little bit of breathing room and time going.
1st and 10. Here's a long pass down the sideline, caught and into the wall. What a catch, what a pass. Briggs with the catch. Just outleaped the defensive back.
And the touch on the throws from Side Force has been on and off, but that one, beautiful. And even kind of like did a little jump throw, a little Superman throw on that one. Back shoulder, saw the coverage as he got to the line of scrimmage and just drops it in the bucket. Beautiful.
First and goal here for the Hound Dogs. Trying to put the nail in the coffin here. There's a pass nearly picked off by the Lunkers at the 5. Diving attempt there by Daniel Charles, who is the Rookie of the Year last year for the Lunkers. Head first dive as the Hound Dogs tried to get it to one of their big tight ends over there.
The linebackers in that, maybe that safety, if he comes down the short yardage, got to be careful as both of the outside offensive linemen have been coming off on routes on those plays.
Here's a pass the other way. Ball tipped up and caught. Or was it? Nope, incomplete that time. So they go one way to Hamilton. They go the other way to Stackens, the two twin tight ends. Both incomplete.
Daniel Charles on both of them there. So it took a little second for number 7, Gabe Smith, to get up, as he's been a great defensive lineman. The big
timeout for injury.
So a timeout for injury there. Didn't see who was injured. So it'll be Hound Dogs ball here.
We got a timeout. Hound Dogs, that's the first of the half.
Is that 3rd and goal?
But if Gabe Smith's off for a couple of plays, you lose really the biggest size on the field for the Lunkers defense. So really undersized in terms of guarding those tight ends here for Memphis. So I'd be shocked if Memphis doesn't try to utilize that here in this next bit of play calling of these next 2 plays. Obviously 4-down territory here for the Hound Dogs. And never mind, Gabe Smith, excuse me, comes back onto the field.
Football marked at the Lunkers 9-yard line. So 3rd and goal at the 9. And Smith is out there defensively. The officials still huddling up around the ball right now with the injury timeout. So just kind of waiting around there talking. This is a big defensive stand for the Lunkers. If they can hold here, get the ball back. Again, a lot of things can happen, only a 10-point game.
I can hear every defensive coordinator I've ever known screaming, "Ben, don't break here. 2 downs left. Got to make a stand."
Snap back. Here's the option pitch to the right. And that goes to Donald Gray, and he is pounded into the wall over there. Big hit by the Lunkers. Inside the 5, just inside the 5. With Charles in there making the hit for the Lunkers, brings up 4th down and goal at the 4-yard line.
That's 3 straight plays. Charles has been there to make the play. He's fired up from that safety position. And again, a lot of options with this offensive unit for the Hound Dogs. I believe they're not able to run the ball with a direct handoff. Quarterback can still move, but it can't be a direct handoff inside the 5, I believe. So probably see a motion here from DJ Briggs as a flag.
Delay game.
The clock expired. That'll move them back. And that hadn't happened much in this game. They've been pretty good about getting the plays off, so that moves them back 5 yards. So now it's 4th and goal at the 9, almost the 10. But in the backfield, DJ Briggs, a small running back, along with the quarterback Forrest. We have 5:08 to play in the game. 10-point lead for Memphis. Motion left. Forrest rolling to his right. Flag's already thrown. The ball is picked off. Lunkers with the pickoff. There's a spin move and the ball down. Another flag thrown.
I know the first flag was going to be a holding call, I believe, for Memphis. The second one came after the pick, so it might affect the yardage, but I think the original flag is not going to matter here. It was going to be holding on Memphis.
And it'll probably be declined. The Lunkers will take the ball. So exactly what they wanted. They get the ball back. Should be at their own 15. You see Byron Pearson and the rest of the officials. Jason Jackson, Brian Whittick, and Luke Showen. And here comes
2 fouls, one by each team. Holding on the offense. That's declined after the interception. Blindside block on the return. Half the distance to the goal, first down, Lunkers.
So after the interception, the penalty against the Lunkers, so half the distance to the goal, but still they get the ball back.
And maybe we'll see it because they didn't call the number up. But here's the play, and there's the pick, and maybe we see, and I think they're going to call it on Gabe Smith right there. I think it's where the blind side was, if I were a betting man. So inside the 5, but Lunkers, the defense gave him a lifeline again. Chance to go down the field, 450.
Dwan Hughes with the pick for the Lunkers. Motion vertical. Jones going to throw it deep downfield. Up in the air, it is caught. Caught inside the 5. Hand-to-hand combat, and it's won by Miles Kit Denton, who spins and scores. They went right at each other, kind of pushed each other off at the last second. Ball caught by Miles Kit Denton. Just exactly what the Lunkers needed.
And just cut up too much from the defender right there. Really just needs to stay. Didn't need to move, but he tries to cut up for it, and that gives room for Kit Denton to come back up and get that ball. 50-50 ball. Kit Denton wins it. Lunkers back in it. And just like that, a couple minutes, and the Lunkers make it a football game. A little bit more interesting here in this final 5.
And we'll tell you about the onside conversions that could take place in this game with the team trailing. Here's a 1-point conversion attempt. Not good. Pass intended for Matt Rush. Incomplete. So onside conversion happens when a team is trailing in the second half. The team will have one untimed down with only the play clock running at its own 5-yard line. It's a 4th and 20 scenario. If they fail to convert, the other team takes possession at that spot. Either team could score. So that's something in the bag for the Lunkers here.
And we'll see if they end up using it. It looks like they line up for a throw off. So, but again, with the way this defense has been able to play when it matters, I don't necessarily disagree with the decision here. Huddling up, talking about it, because 4:10 left, still a lot of time again.
Yes.
We say it all the time, 4 minutes.
They can get the
forever.
stop and get the ball back, so that's what they're looking for here. It is 34-30, a wild 4th quarter. Lunkers will have the throw off,
and
Daniel will throw it off.
The last throw off really beneficial to the Lunkers. Probably going to try and spot it in the corner, would be my bet with how far up the return man's playing. That's where I'd put it, at least.
DJ Briggs throw. And he hits a light. And there's the flag, so they get it at midfield. Not
Throw off
what the doctor ordered there. Could have happened at a worse time, much like the first half. It was a killer in the first half. What did the Hound Dogs do? They scored on this same situation late in the half. They got it at midfield, promptly scored, and had a 20-12 lead at halftime. Well, they get the ball at midfield here. Lunkers have some pressure on them defensively right now. Again, 4:07 to play. Quarterback, Sky Forrest. In the backfield with him is DJ Briggs. Snap back to Forrest, drops back. He's going to throw it deep into the end zone, and it's incomplete. Intended for Malone, but well overthrown. 2nd and 10 now. 3:45 to play in the game.
And unless someone comes out of the backfield, there's really only going to be 3 options here for receiving for Memphis. They're using that running back, DJ Briggs, as a chip on Gabe Smith, just trying to help out. He's been destructive here in this quarter, getting pressure at the line.
Snap back, quick toss to the right. It is caught by Donald Gray, and he's tripped up over there by the Lunkers' Daniel. But a gain of right at about 5. It's almost like you could do that every play, and get 5 yards. It's at 3 yards in a cloud of dust for this Hound Dogs team. And Gray, you could do that just about every play and get 5 yards as quick as he is.
Latavius Daniel went off. Now it's Jalen Jones.
Yeah, his helmet flew off, so he had to take, well, this quarterback can run, yep. Took off, nobody was watching him, and that'll be a first down run by the quarterback, Forrest. He stepped up in the pocket, wisely saw nobody was watching him defensively, so went ahead and took the other 5 yards for the first down.
And they're probably going to have a chance to get 2 plays in around before the 2-minute warning.
Lunkers hoping for a turnover here. Forrest barks out the signals. Boy, just got a play off. Gives it to his running back, left side, hammered into the wall over there. That's Briggs with the carry. And he gets it inside the 10 to right at about the 7. And we'll have the 2-minute warning here for the game. They blow the play dead, and we will have the 2-minute warning here with the Hound Dogs on top of the Lunkers, 34-30, but the Hound Dogs moving. We'll take a break here. This is the Arena League on YouTube. Two minutes to play from the tackle box in Springfield, Missouri. 2nd and 5 here for the Hound Dogs. Here's the quarterback going to take it up the middle and diving forward. Did he get in? That is Forrest, and they're going to signal for the touchdown here. So Forrest scores on the quarterback keeper up the middle to extend the Hound Dogs lead. Dives over the top of the Lunkers Hughes and gets the touchdown.
And utilizing the run play right there for this Memphis team to really try and put the nail in the coffin. This was the clock still run. It still was running. I don't think it should be. But going for 2 here, this will make it a 12-point game. That's 2 scores at least. So the Lunkers still got a ways to go.
Forrest drops back, throws it short, and it is caught by the big man Hamilton. Hamilton dives forward. What are they going to say here? No signal yet. Stopped short, I guess. So no extra point on the play. But 40-30, and it's been special the way that the Hound Dogs have used their quarterbacks to run in this game.
And here it is here. Ooh,
wow.
Just barely. I mean,
well, his knee was down. I think the knee down first probably is what they were looking at there. Had a pretty good view from both angles of the goal line.
But I believe even if they wanted to, I don't think Memphis has a challenge left. Pretty sure teams only allocated one challenge per, and if they are unsuccessful, they lose it, as they saw earlier the Whitecap take the challenge flag from Memphis and stuff it in his pocket. So Memphis couldn't challenge the play even if they wanted to, but again, I believe that at this point all plays would be under review regardless. So ends up being short. And then just like with the Lunkers, now is the time you really don't want to hit the air duct. We saw a lot of dust fly off from all the tractors and the bull riding that happens in here. Shockers on a brown spot of dirt.
Adrian Fox with the throw off here. And he does it again.
Tom,
throws it off the ceiling again.
That would be what we refer to as the announcer curse on that one.
So now the Lunkers get it in good field position. They'll get it at midfield to 25. And 1:55 to play in the game. They trail by 10, so they definitely need a quick score here, Ryan. So they'll be looking for something. Now, you're going to see the Hound Dogs play 7-on-7 as best of a prevent defense as you can in 7-on-7.
And again, you're under 2. You can get out of bounds. If they're going to give it to you, use the short yardage. It looks like they're lining up with their traditional defensive lineup here. Not anything prevent yet.
Well, Willis is back at 20 yards. Here's a pass into the end zone and up in the air. And it is deflected out of the hands of Matt Rush by Willis. Willis is playing safety. He was back 25 yards, deeper than the deepest.
Which has been pretty regular here for this Memphis team, and just a little behind for Matt Rush to grab that, and enough chance for Willis to be able to get to that one. And again, now you put yourself in a pickle here. 2nd and 10.
The clock does change. 2 minutes left in the game. It does stop with incompletions and penalties. Jones being rushed. He's going to throw wide open. Ball is caught. And down inside the 10 there for the Lunkers. That is DJ Ruff. He had a couple of missed opportunities in the first half. He's going to have to check out because he lost his helmet. So player coming in. Offensively for the Lunkers, this is Daniel Charles now will come in.
Talk about a bulldozer there on that one. Number 8 for Memphis, just bouncing right off him.
So 1st and goal, 1:29 to play. They got to get a quick score here.
And clock now runs with the ball placed.
Motion to the right. Jones dropping back, fires it into the end zone. It is caught and dropped by Miles Kit Denton. Pretty good pass there through the fingertips of Kit Denton, incomplete, and that'll stop the clock.
And that was an absolute dart of a throw. I think that one was just too hard of a throw for Kit Denton to really try and corral that. 2nd and goal, clock stopped, minute 12. Looks like they are just going man here.
Spread it out, motion man. Quarterback is going to throw it into the end zone. It is incomplete, nearly picked off by Willis. Willis had his mitts on it. We've had a number of passes that should have been picked off in this game that have not, as well as dropped passes by the Lunkers in particular.
And that one might as well fit all 10 of his fingers and his palms, and still isn't able to corral that. So lucky break for the Lunkers that one comes incomplete. 3rd and goal.
Snap back. Jones looking, fires it, and incomplete, intended for Potter. Potter thought he was interfered with. It'll bring up 4th and goal now. And I'll tell you what, this Hound Dog secondary, admirable job against the Lunkers. I mean, they have really handled these guys one-on-one, mano-a-mano very well here tonight.
Well, in this league, honestly, I mean, right there, everyone turned around and no movement. No one tried to extend the play from the receiving core. When it's this short, you just got to turn this into playground schoolball. You just got to start moving and hope you find a spot.
4th down. This could be it. Pass is caught by Matt Rush. Came out of retirement, picks up a huge touchdown reception here for the Lunkers. And it's a 4-point game with about a minute to play. Rush, and he had protection there. If he was going to drop it, he had guys just in case ready to make the catch.
And right there, in this type of part of the end zone, when there's a lot of movement horizontally, eventually right there, safeties and corners have to communicate. No one does. No one's pointing. No one's talking. Find an empty spot in the broken coverage.
Lunkers go for 1 here. Rush, vertical motion, high snap. Jones rolls to his left, then right, then he circles around, comes back. He's going to throw it up, and it's incomplete, intended for Potter. Potter jumped up, was above the rim, but couldn't bring it down. And a 4-point game.
Lunkers have elected to go for the onside kick.
Here,
one of our camera guys in there almost caught it, using his camera to help assist him on that one, but
We'll need to get to midfield.
get the score, 4-point game, 58 seconds. Got to say here, this onside try. Again, you said it earlier, Tom, we'll go over it again. From the 5, 4th and 20 scenario, got to get to the midfield at the 25, but both teams can score on this play. So if broken play, Lunkers go down, score, that's touchdown, that's 6. Pick 6 going the other way, that's 6 for Memphis. So still a live play. The
4th and 20 scenario is what it is.
Yes.
4th and 20.
And the clock does not run, so stay at 58. You got time. And we'll see what they dial up here. And again, I feel like Jelani Willis has to be the man who's got to help make a play, because I feel like this one's going to be going deep.
This is called an onside by the Lunkers, trailing in the second half.
Here's going to come pressure here. I think that's on the defense.
Yep, snap back, and nose tackle jumped across there. That is Cameron Blaylock, 6'2", 325 pounds. Some of these guys from Memphis.
Encroachment defense, unabated quarterback. That is a dead ball foul, 5-yard penalty.
So it does push him out. That helps.
We're still on the onside. Have to get to 25.
I was very intrigued by the way Memphis was lining that up as kind of a linebacker on the hash, ready to come help, but then the safety drops down. Very interesting, as it kind of leaves 2 guys streaking up against one corner. Is timeout called.
Timeout called, yeah, to talk about this situation. Remember game last year? Lunkers won on the last play of the game. It was a jump ball in the end zone to one of their big men. They threw it up, and I mean, it was a mob of players, and it was brought down by a Lunker receiver to win the game.
And I believe, memory serves me right here, that was the St. Joe game last year, if memory serves correctly.
Yeah, they won it 54-50.
Yeah, that was first week, first game that me and you called together. That game was very physical, very chippy, lots of flags. I think a guy got ejected at one point in time. But the tackle box has seen some miracles within the final minute, and now only 15 yards, a 4th and 15 scenario.
So here we go. Jones has his team set, looks over the defense here, takes the snap. He rolls to his right, being pressured. Now he goes back the other way. He's got a couple white jerseys after him. He's going to take off. Oh, and he trips up, still on his feet, and falls down. Flag is thrown, and that's where Memphis will take over. Jones had nobody open, and it was running for his life. The officials throw the flag. We'll see what happens after they figure this out. Players yapping at one another, so the officials have to get in between them.
And now's not the time to be exchanging some words. Don't want to get...
We had run lane violation on the offense. A penalty decline. It'll be first down, Hound Dogs.
So Hound Dogs get it back. That was the onside attempt by the Lunkers, and nothing going on there. Great defensive stand by the Hound Dogs. And it looks like they're going to leave Springfield at 2-1 as they come in here, and a heck of an effort by both teams. Like the way the quarterbacks played for Memphis, really their running ability, but a couple of very nice touch passes as well by the two quarterbacks of Memphis.
58 seconds, 2 timeouts. Can't really just run the clock out here, so maybe a last gasp from this defensive unit for Ozarks.
And play blown dead before it starts here. Yep, we're going to have movement against Memphis here.
Dead ball, false start, offense number 90. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
And so 2 seconds, I think, still come off the clock on that one. So down to 56 seconds in this one. But again, 1st and 15 now. You can't really just take the knee at this point. So again, still a chance for the defense to try and make a play.
Snap back. Quarterback's going to run it up the middle, and Lunkers were ready for that one. Forrest will pick up about 4 yards.
Timeout.
And
Lunkers,
he is manhandled
second
down
half.
by the Lunkers, but it does eat up some time on the clock. Timeout is called as well.
And at this point in the game, when it's run like that, everyone's just going to try and punch that ball out. Rip at his hands, try and get something loose, especially when it's that type of scrum like that, that many guys wrapped around him.
Stranger things have happened, you know, late in a game like this.
Time call maybe, and it does reset the clock back to 50 seconds as they did change the clock up. Maybe try and force a little bit of a peanut punch. Get this ball out, hopefully give the Lunkers a chance. Fans still here, very few. I don't think really anyone left went for the gates, even at the largest deficit of the game here in that 4th quarter. Lunkers fans still hopeful that this defense can make a play.
Snap back, Forrest rolls to his left. He's going to throw it into the end zone. Player down with a cramp, and the ball's overthrown. That pass intended for Malone, who came up ailing at about the 10. He stopped his route, and now he's going to jog off the field.
Thank goodness that ball got pushed a little bit towards the sideline. If he leaves that one up in the end zone, that happens. That could be a grim interception for the Hound Dogs. But now 3rd down, and you'd think pass play maybe, but incompletion is helpful for the Lunkers, keeps the timeout.
Well, the play clock winds down.
Timeout.
Or was it a timeout?
Hound Dog, second of the half.
Timeout called. We had some scores from other games going on. I think you were updating some of those as we were going along here.
Yep, so taking a look at the other games, 2 blowouts currently as we looked over at Eau Claire, Axman, and Nebraska Siege. That one 68-25 in favor of the Siege out in Nebraska. And then Arkansas came back in Monroe, 45-37 the score with 5:40 left to play. So that one, a close one, going to go down to the wire. And then out in Iowa, taking a look here, and that one also a blowout, 68-16 in favor of the Goats, under 2 minutes left to play. So looks like the 2 unbeaten teams stay unbeaten. They're going to look next week at the schedule, trying to see who they play.
Yeah, Memphis will play at home against Monroe, and the Lunkers will be at Arkansas. Back to action here on the field. Forrest rolls to his right. He throws it left, and the ball is caught, they say, by Hamilton, or incomplete. Nope, they say it's incomplete.
I was going to say, we had a good angle of it up here. Might be able to show it, but it looked like from our angle up here, I saw a little bit of bobble as it hit the ground. I don't think Memphis has a challenge to use anyways, but I think they might look at it anyways. And then also look in here where you see, as I think there was a bobble and it didn't hold on to it.
Yep.
But then also when you talk about the schedule next week, for week 4, the Siege and the Goats will play each other So two unbeaten teams will come in, one team will leave unbeaten. So that will be a game of the week for sure. Next week in the Arena League, that one in St. Joe. That'll be a fun one.
4th down here. Here we go. 36 seconds to play. Forrest has some room. He's going to throw it downfield, and it's incomplete. Luton getting in to knock that one loose. And the Lunkers have a chance here with 29 seconds to play, Ryan. You were right. They needed a first down and didn't get it to ice this game. Lunkers take over about midfield with a chance to win this one on their final possession of the game.
And just not the greatest throw in that moment. That will be what we refer to as a dead duck on that one. Not a great one. Hard to get in, even with jumping up, having to extend behind him to get to it. But for the Lunkers, you got a chance.
Play here? Let's see.
Trips out right.
Jones, the
30
quarterback.
seconds and a timeout.
Takes a snap, drops back, rolls to his right. He's going to throw it deep downfield. A jump ball caught, and a touchdown for the Lunkers. Potter behind everybody with the score. The Lunkers take the lead in the 4th quarter. 2 defensive backs jumping up, neither able to tip the ball. Austin Potter comes away with it, and his 3rd ball thrown into the stands. His 3rd touchdown catch of the game.
Hit while throwing, throw deep downfield. One thing, and that scenario, you got to treat that like it's a Hail Mary play. You don't come up to meet the ball. You just come back, jump, and try and swat it. You don't go for the pick, and that's the reason why. Found some space, beautiful ball from Jones. Potter with the catch. Tackle box erupts. What a finish. We still got time left. Refs are convening. We'll see what about, but 22 seconds left. And still time for some drama left, as it will be one score.
42-40 our score. What a play. The way I was watching that from behind, the 2 defensive backs, oh, that's an interception. They jump up and just didn't time the pass very well. One of the officials talking with the head coach, new head coach at Memphis, Robert Redmond, on the sidelines, explaining something to him. And now they'll have the onside. Don't forget.
After the touchdown, we had unsportsmanlike. Number 8 on the Lunkers. That penalty was enforced after the throw-off. We'll be going for 1 from the 5-yard line.
And that'll be on Jones for the unsportsmanlike. Not really sure what it was. Obviously something that...
It was back where he was, so obviously talking a little bit too much around one of the officials. So the Lunkers going to go for 1 here. They're up 2 with 22 seconds to play.
Gonna say extra point scenario. Honestly, not to sound pessimistic here, it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, as a touchdown still takes the lead for Memphis. But
Jones takes a snap on the conversion, fires a bullet. It is caught! Caught by Matt Rush. And they complete an extra point. And the Lunkers now must play some defense here with 22 seconds to play. Matt Rush comes out of retirement, gets him a touchdown, gets him an extra point, 43-40. Lunkers lead it. It's not over, folks. Hound Dogs get it back. And again, the penalty assessed after the unsportsmanlike conduct against the Lunkers quarterback. It'll be on the throw-off. See how that affects the play here. Dropping back deep is Briggs. Briggs, the scat back. He's got speed.
And this one, first of all, this cannot hit the ceiling, and you just got to get it over the 10. But again, the clock will run the moment it is fielded. Again, it gets added after the spot. Unsportsmanlike, I think, would be 10 yards in this scenario. I don't think it'd be 15. But we're going to find out in just a couple seconds here. So look over on the Memphis sideline.
Well, I'll tell you, Ryan, this is a great lesson. A minute left. A lot can happen in 1 minute of play down in a football game in this league. Here's the throw, and it's not going to make it. So there's another penalty, and that could be costly.
So that's at midfield plus the unsportsmanlike call. So special teams matters. Special teams matters. And on these last two throw-offs, the Lunkers not great. So it's again Lacavius Daniel.
Throw-off violation on the Lunkers throwing team. That ball was placed at 25, but we had the penalty prior for the unsportsmanlike conduct. So it was 15 yards from 25, first down, Hound Dogs.
I think it is a 15-yard. Oh no, it is just, yeah, it is 15. So 10-yard line,
Wow.
22 seconds for Memphis. Wow. Penalties coming back to hurt the Lunkers, which for a team that averages the third most in the league penalties per game in terms of penalty yardage, they sit third most as well, averaging 57 yards a game.
Forrest takes a snap here. He throws it to his big man right side, trying to get in, dives forward. Did he make it? Hits the wall. They're going to say touchdown by the big man Hamilton. Just like that, they regain the lead.
Wow.
Oh my.
Drama on drama here. And that is going to be...
That play's under review.
Oh, under review, I was going to say. Looked close. But honestly, if you're the Lunkers, I'd honestly want this one to be going in because it gives you still have a chance to go back and more time on the clock, if anything else.
Well, they're checking. He hit the wall, and I think that's where he goes into the wall, right?
That's where his hip hits, and I think that's going to be the first point of contact. From this angle, it's not the greatest one, because we can't see where the ball's at, but I think, oh, here we go. Here's a great angle here. Just miss it, but we still get a good look and idea of where that ball is at. And from that, I don't think, again, there has to be enough convincing to overturn it. So from those two angles, don't think they'd have enough to overturn it even with it, as the official's still convening. But again, as I was saying, in defense for the Lunkers, you might want this one to still count. That way you'll still have a chance to get the ball back. More time would drip off the clock if Memphis gets the ball back and is able to make a play. Because again, it's only around 11 seconds. And it would also be second and goal.
So here we go with the call after they check it to our left, and the replay official, Gary McElroy, he is just to our left, pointing to his screen right now. You see the white hat, Byron Pearson, and here's the call.
After review, the play on the field stands. It'll be second down and goal. We have a timeout. Hound Dogs.
Wow.
Fake out here. Said it stood, but then said second down.
Well, it stood. It was not a touchdown.
Oh,
it stood.
I apologize.
It was the player down. I did see somebody say touchdown on the field.
So I saw one ref signal on our scoreboard change as well, so that's reason for the confusion on that one.
But how much time is left?
Well, not the only one, though.
The time.
I think 11 seconds-ish. That's what I'm saying is
17 seconds.
I was off by a considerable amount.
Well, and in the backfield, so you got Briggs back there, along with the quarterback who can outrun. They'll give it to Briggs. Briggs is tripped up, and he did not get in. So he is down at the 1. Good defense there. Can they do it again? Clock continues to tick. They got to put it down. 5, 4. They snap it back. Quarterback throws it into the end zone. Caught. Doesn't count.
Ooh, they're going to want to look at this one. Because again, it's a slide. It was while he was sliding. The refs are definitely going to look at it because this one's going to be a tough one. Obviously, Memphis is somebody. They're running on the field, but the refs are talking.
Yeah, this one not over yet.
As the official signal wasn't even made yet.
It was a little, again, flip pass by the quarterback, Forrest.
But Memphis had a timeout, didn't use it. What a wild end to this one.
Trying to get the players off the field here.
Because I think they're going to try and want to get a look at it.
PA announcer on the field. They've got all kinds of stuff going on. They're trying to get everybody off the field here. Coaches, players.
Here's the look at it here. Little pitch. Has it. Looks like holds on to it.
That was Stackens with the, what we think is a catch. And they're going to look at it. Here's the white hat.
That last play is the coach's challenge. Is under review.
Coach's challenge, I mean, at this point, why not?
Oh my.
And
they're looking at this
here
very
it is
close.
again. Walk you through it. Has it. Knee. Does he hold on to it? Because right there, the question is if the ball gets knocked ajar. But from that angle, I don't see anything that would say otherwise. I mean, from that angle, the ref could see maybe the tip of the ball touching the ground, which would cause the overturn.
If that's the only angle they got, I don't think it's conclusive enough to overturn it.
Because I think there is movement on the ball, but don't think it's enough to cause an overturn here unless there's something else. And
here we go.
Obviously, both teams are.
After review, we have a touchdown.
Memphis scores with no time left on the clock, and they do, in fact, win this one by a score of 46-43. Wild ending here in Springfield. Memphis 2-1. Ozarks falls to 1-2, 46-43. Your final, a last-second touchdown. This is going to take a little bit to wrap up during our post-game show. We'll do that when we come back. 46-43, Memphis wins it. This is the Arena League on YouTube. Well, welcome back to the tackle box in Springfield. The extra point there after the touchdown. They just took a knee, victory formation, which makes this an official game, 46-43. The Memphis Hound Dogs win it over the Ozarks Lunkers in what can only be described as a crazy ending. The Lunkers take the lead with about a minute left in the fourth quarter, Ryan. They had the lead for just a couple of minutes. And then the Lunkers on the throw-off, and it's been a costly throw-off situation for the Lunkers in this game. How many times did they hit the ceiling? But one before half and a couple in the second half. The worst was the last one by the Lunkers that hit a light, causing the ball to be placed at midfield, but there was a penalty on the touchdown that the Lunkers scored. unsportsmanlike conduct against the quarterback, and that caused a 15-yard penalty to be assessed after the throw-off. So once it hit the ceiling, that's at midfield, and then the ball is at the 10-yard line, and there's still 30 seconds to play in the game.
And yeah, we're going to get ready and see some highlights here from this one here in a minute. Here we go. Action-packed towards the end of it. And here's just the start of it here. This was the first touchdown of the game. Throw deep down to Kit Denton, who opened up the score sheet early and using every bit of that 46-inch vertical. And that opened it up early here in this one for the Lunkers. And then two quarterbacks today, but this is Sky Forrest hitting Donald Gray over the middle to answer. And then another deep throw, but picked off on this one. Is that, again, a little bit of miscommunication from the quarterback. Turnover issue still prevalent. That was picked off by Ladadrius Lee. Here's the throw. Here's the second quarterback that we saw today, Kevin Taylor. Just a deflection that goes the right way.
Yeah, it was caught by Donald Gray again. Great hands there. And a nice play on the second effort by Potter, who had another great game. 3 touchdown receptions for Potter, including one that put the Lunkers ahead late. We'll surely see that one. There's another that's that deflected pass we saw to Potter again, who ends up scoring. A lot of drop passes in the game by the Lunkers. That was one of the major problems. That and the throw-off caused some problems too. And then they couldn't stop the quarterback, in particular the backup quarterback, Kevin Taylor, in this game, just running up the middle. He bowls his way forward for the touchdown right before half, and that put the Hound Dogs up 20-12 at halftime. That was a big momentum getter for the Hound Dogs. Then right away in the third quarter, touchdown grab there by Malone, and good touch by Sky Forrest. The Lunkers come back. There's Potter jumping over the wall, ends up on the concrete, but holds on to the ball for the touchdown. Great effort by Potter, his second touchdown. And then there's Forrest again, gets it to the big man, who rumbles, stumbles all the way into the end zone. That's Hamilton with the score. He was big. The two bookend tight ends, Hamilton and Stackens, were huge in this game. There you see the touchdown by the Lunkers, Kit Denton, for the score, and the big man bowling his way forward down to the goal line. Jones again fires one in to the once retired Matt Rush, who ends up scoring. And how about this, to put the Lunkers ahead with about a minute left in the game. But the Hound Dogs come back on that little shovel pass in the end zone to Stackens, and they end up winning this one 46-43. And Ryan, this game had a little bit of everything here tonight.
Yes, it did. A couple great defensive plays. Defense played great through the first 3 quarters, but a lot of action offensively to end that one. A nail-biter in the end. What a game. That's all I can say. What a game. And I did want to take a quick moment to update you guys from the other games from around the league that are all now concluded. Nebraska and St. Joe both improving to 3-0. Nebraska beating Eau Claire 68-25. Then the Goats knocking off the Woo 74-22. And then Arkansas comes back from behind on the road and takes the win against Monroe. They improved to 2-1. It's 45-43, the final score on that one.
Next week, of course, Monroe at Memphis. A couple new teams in the league will go at it in Memphis next week. That'll be at the Memphis Sports and Events Center. And again, get to see the blue suede end zone. Love seeing that. The Memphis Mafia will be in force watching that game. And for the Lunkers, they'll try to get back on the winning track. They travel to Hot Springs to take on Arkansas next week. So a couple of big games coming up for these two teams next week. One at home, one on the road. But the Hound Dogs, new team, now 2-1 on the season.
It's a great game. It'll be a great one next week for the Lunkers as they take on the formerly rebranded Wise Guys, now the Diamonds.
Yes.
Should be a fun one, but it was a great game here. A great one to call with you, as always, Tom. Be excited to be back here in the tackle box for the next game. That would be on week 5, I believe.
Yeah, they got a few weeks. They'll be on the road. Yeah.
Week 7, actually, because we take off for the 6th week. So got a little bit of time before me and you are back on call together. Going to miss you a little bit, Tom.
Absolutely. Well, fans, now a chance to get to talk to the players on the field. That's always a fun time here at Wilson Logistics Arena. Well, guys, that's going to do it. Hopefully you enjoyed the broadcast tonight. Don't forget these teams back in action next week. Memphis at home against Monroe, and the Lunkers will be on the road at Arkansas. For Ryan Swanson, I'm Tom Ladd. For the rest of the crew, this has been the Arena League on YouTube. We'll see you next time.